Oh, I wanna run off and fly. And I'll tell myself it's fine to be alone, just to find somewhere that finally feels like home. Oh, oh, oh. I hate all this overthinking. Oh, 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 oh. The more I swim, the more I'm sinking. Take me to a world of silver. No more heartbreaks, tears, painkillers. Take me somewhere unfamiliar. Bring me back to where we started out. Get me out of now, to where we started out. Get me out of now, to where we started out. La 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 la, oh, oh. Get me out of broken hearts and starting fights, turning truth to lies. Gotta get up, stop wasting time. Yeah, I wanna run off and fly. And I'll tell myself it's fine to be alone, just to find somewhere that finally feels like home. Oh, oh, oh. I hate all this overthinking. Oh, 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 oh. The more I swim, the more I'm sinking. Take me to a world of silver. No more heartbreaks, tears, painkillers. Take me somewhere unfamiliar. Bring me back to where we started out. Get me out of now, to where we started out. Get me out of now, to where we started out. Oh no, empty hearts and neon lights, they're playing with my mind. Gotta get out of here tonight. Oh, I wanna run off and fly. And I'll tell myself it's fine to be alone, just to find somewhere that finally feels like home. Oh, oh, oh. I hate all this overthinking. Oh, 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 oh. The more I swim, the more I'm sinking. Take me to a world of silver. totalize. Gotta get up, stop wasting time. Yeah, I wanna run off and fly. And I'll tell myself it's fine to be alone. Just to find somewhere that finally feels like home. Oh, oh, oh. I hate all this overthinking. Oh, 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 oh. The more I swim, the more I'm sinking. Take me to a world of silver. No more heartbreaks, tears, painkillers. Take me somewhere unfamiliar. Bring me back to where we started out. Get me out of now. To where we started out. Get me out of now. To where we started out. Oh no. Empty hearts and neon lights. They're playing with my mind. Gotta get out of here tonight. Oh, I wanna run off and fly. And I'll tell myself it's fine to be alone. Just to find somewhere that finally feels like home. Oh, oh, oh. I hate all this overthinking. Oh, 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 oh. The more I swim, the more I'm sinking. Take me to a world of silver. No more heartbreaks, tears, painkillers. Take me somewhere unfamiliar. Bring me back to where we started out.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Crown Championship Round 5, and it's a day one between the top 20s. So, this is the first match of the day between the team INT versus INC. Meanwhile, I'm Sayumi, and on a coaster that we do have a Baldudu. So, hello Baldu. What do you think about this match? Is it gonna be an intense or one-sided match?
Well, thank you for that intro, Sayumi. Always a pleasure to cast with you. And yes, it is a really, really strong game for, the start. It's going to be INC and, INT. We might mix up the names, so we'll have to probably look at the blue and red occasionally. But yeah, I don't think it's going to be a clean sweep because just look at the quality of the players like both these lineups are fielding. Like, it's going to be a very interesting game, and I think the draft is going to decide who is going to win it or you know going to have to deal with that loss.
Exactly, that's true. But we're gonna see that from the team INC, they banned Fanny. That means they don't want to face, especially for the early game, you don't want to get picked off easily. Once Fanny gets the snowball onto the early game, he can easily carry the match from early till mid so that for the late game, the goal laner or the mid lane can carry the game. So, what do you think about this ban coming from the team INC?
Well, INC taking out the Fanny is a respect ban from the side of Venom, and I don't think it's a respect ban at this point because you've had so many good junglers who are able to add Fanny to the hero pool. It is not as rare as it was to find a good Fanny user, but the hero itself is still strong despite the slight energy nerf it has faced in the 1st of Jan. But on the other hand, the Harith ban, it makes 100% sense to ban this hero out. He is just so broken right now with that rework on his S2. He can dash like 4 to 5 times within like, a span of like 3 seconds. And that is without the blue buff on top of it. So yes, a perfectly reasonable ban. And I think both teams are having a really good start. We'll have to see how the bans will, the first pick from either team will actually decide the tempo for this draft.
Yeah, that's true. But Harry, if they go for Harry, there is a lot of counter heroes like Irithel. But once if it goes for the jungle, it will be really hard to counter her. I mean, like him. But we're gonna see that they have been Hilda, banning Hilda and as well as Suyu. These heroes are very OP right now because once if you get Hilda, it's really annoying, especially for the jungles that she can easily invade. And even Suyu is a very versatile hero that he can easily dominate, especially into the early game. But we're gonna see it's gonna be a third band coming from the INC. There's still a lot of OP and meta heroes has been open, like Khalid or even for the mid lane, you know, Zujin. So I don't think
Exactly.
they don't want to face Zujin. Even though me, I really hate Zujin.
Like, the hero is really really broken, and I think that is something that's really nice about the current state of MOBA 5v5. We have a lot of really really strong heroes open, so it's not like previously we had to just ban 5 heroes and everyone's going to pick the same thing again and again. With here you have a little more variety. Teams have to decide which heroes they want to give up and what they want to take in exchange. It's not going to be fun to always get the first pick now, because you might get one strong hero but you have to give up two really good heroes at the same time. So it's going to be quite interesting to see how will Imagine and team from the side of INT respond to this erythrial ban, because they have taken out the Harriet. So in the gold lane you have very few options left now. They've also taken out the Granger. So, what do you think they're going to really go in the gold lane? I think they've banned out most of the meta. It's just Beatrix and Layla left.
That's also true. Beatrice is also really OP right now. But there's a lot of meta heroes, especially Ling and even Cloud. Once once Ling gets some of the itemization, he can easily his skills are really OP with the double shot and his passive coming from him. He can easily, one shot you, especially even onto the mid game till late game. But we're gonna see that, oh my god, that's gonna be INC that have already been locked out Zujin onto the first pick. Zijan is a really menace hero right now, especially for the non-range heroes. I don't, you don't want to face her because she can easily throw you up in outside of the turret and even inside of the turret. So you don't want to face that. And with the Sky Piercer, she deals a lot of damage.
Exactly. The Soul Flare with the Soul Lantern is just really, really difficult. Those Soul Butterflies and the Nether Snare together, the link up with literally any hero is like having an additional CC tank on your team. It's like a 5 second cooldown, immobilized displace, which is just really really difficult to deal with. And yeah, on the other hand, Venom and Imagine, the deadly duo, the famed INT duo, have picked up their signature heroes. It is Imagine on none other than his favorite, the Claude, and Venom on that Hayabusa. So, despite Zujin being such a strong pick from the side of INC, giving Roystar the reins of this game, they'll have to be careful of the shadow kill that Hayabusa is so famous for.
Yes, if they got Sujin, you just need some of the assassin heroes that can deal, damage for the backlines. And like we're gonna see that team INT that have been picked out Hayabusa that he can easily counter those backliners like Sujin or for the gold laner. Meanwhile, we're gonna see that INC they have been picked of Khalid, and it's gonna be a 1-1 onto the gold lane. Okay, that's not bad,
Oh
but
man, it's been a while
Khalid
since we've
is
seen that.
yeah. Khalid is a very flexible hero. So he can go for gold. I mean, like Rom, he can go for EHP. So what do you think? Is he going for a Roamer or the EHP right now?
Well, like since it's Deadly who's picked up the Khalid, I am thinking he's going to be taking it onto the EXP lane. But at the same time, Khalid does give them the option to flex pick it. Like suppose they take something that Khalid will have a little problem against, like the CC over there, they could probably pick up the Gutout for themselves and then swap it with the roamer from the side of INC. But the CC pickup, what are your thoughts on that?
Hi, CC has got some recent buff, and even she got some, more range right now. So I think, CC is really pretty good right now, especially, for the Khalid. He can easily, deal with them even for the early or the late game. Even me, I do use CC onto the EXP lane. Right now, she's really OP, and we're gonna see that that's gonna be an Irrital and then Cecilion ban coming out from the team INC. Even you don't want to face Sicilian, especially for the late game. Once he gets some of the itemization and even the stake, he can easily carry the game though.
Exactly. And they have, on the other end, their opponents respecting the options that Envy has in his hero pool. They have taken out the Tigreal, and I think they're going to try to restrict the options their opponents have in the EXP or in the roam and the jungle. And yes, there is Shane's Ling taken out. Another signature pick for the man has been removed, and with that, Shane's options in the jungle pool will be restricted just a little bit more. I think he has the Nolan and these fighter jungles left, unless he pulls off something interesting like a Hellcut. I would like to see that, but I think it is a little doubtful.
Mhm. That's gonna be a lean ban coming from the team INT. They don't want to give lane to the team INC, but who knows? There's a lot of OP heroes. Even Alpha is there for the jungle, and even Fredrin is open for them. But that's gonna be a gift ban. Because from the team INT, they didn't got the roamer, they didn't got the mid lane, so they're just banning the mid lane heroes right now. That's gonna be the most OP meta heroes. Yif is very OP, especially the slowdown and the burning damage coming from her. You don't want to face that.
Exactly, dude. With Wishing Lantern, one S1 melts like one fourth of your HP, no matter how much magic defense you make. It's really, really annoying to play against a Eve. But on that note, its musician picking up the Vexana, the Eternal Guard, will be making its presence known and felt against its opponents. And we'll have to see what Romer does Zebling actually pick up to, make INT's draft complete. Because right now, you can't really understand what they want to do with their comp. Is it a pick off comp? Is it a dive comp? Because these heroes can do both the from INT. We'll have to see what exactly they will pair it up with. The final roamer, is it going to be something like an Angela, a Matilda, or are we going to be seeing a Kufra?
Yeah, exactly. Like you said, they didn't ban Matilda, and still Matilda has been open. But we're gonna see that from the team INC, they just picked Akai. Meanwhile, from the team INT, they have been banning Pedro. So
Very
Akai
interesting, man.
Akai also do a lot of defense for his teammate, but meanwhile they have been opening Matilda for them. And is it gonna be a drop onto the goal onto the roamer?
Hmm. Like I kind of
That's
expected
an
they might be
unexpected
pulling
pick.
up with the Akai jungle, but the Nolan is a very good option. The fissures, if placed right, they could be really, really tough for Imagine and the Vexana to deal with. But it is gonna be the Grok who is the opposition roamer from the side of INT. And with that, the draft is complete. Who do you think has the upper hand in the draft, Sayumi?
I mean, like right now from the team INC, they do have the late game heroes, and meanwhile, even from the team INT, they have an early game, and even the late game, that's gonna be a Claude. And even Vecna deals a lot of enough damage, magic damage onto the early game. Meanwhile, if Grok used the wall charge correctly, then it will be a game changer for his teammate.
Mm,
So right now, I can say, I mean, like this team has a more upper hand draft because their drafts are really pretty good right now. They got CC onto the EXP, and we're gonna say that Khalid is also onto the EXP. City can
mm.
counter him easily, especially even onto the early or the late game. But it's depend on how you execute.
True that. In my opinion, I would say the win condition from the side of INC would probably be the engages from the Akai and Deadly. Because if the Zujin can allow Envy to get some really fast snowballing, Azrael will have a really comfortable time in the gold lane. And once a 1-1 gets one good ult, it is time for the opponents to pack up and go back home. But on the other end, it's the responsibility for Venom who has to ensure that he makes the right engages, makes the right dives, gets the important pickoffs. But right as we speak, the vengeance has already been baited up on the top side. There is action. Venom has dove in. First blood picked up. Shane will fall. Will it be two? The flicker is used. And with that, Deadly has to make his way back to base as first blood already in the first 15 seconds of this game.
Yeah, within 1 minute, they just pick off the Akai over there, and even Khalid just used a flicker for his own defense. That was an unexpected move coming from the team INT. They just got first blood over there. Meanwhile, onto the bot lane, we're gonna say that it's a three-man rotation onto the bot lane. They're trying to pick off Imagine, but everyone knows that Imagine is a godly goal laner. So I hope he can easily defense for himself. Oh, Shane is
Ooh,
also in deep
already
trouble.
Shane gets caught out. Musician picks up the kill. The fissure is there, does not connect, not dealing enough damage for them. And with that, the scoreboard 2 in the favor of INT as they will move on towards that litho and make their way to the top lane.
Yeah, because Turtle is gonna respond within 13 seconds. But we're gonna say Deathly has been catch of them. Oh, with the Hot Shadow and Ogi Shadow, they're trying to pick off Khalid over there. Khalid,
And
he doesn't have that flicker to, retreat over there. Uh-huh.
And look at that, they do manage to get one kill on response, bait out the flicker of that Grok, and a kill for them. A small pickup, but they're still 1k behind in gold. Of lane control firmly on the side of Venom. The beautiful
Oh my
Eternal Guard
god.
with the knock up. The CC will make his way back safely. And with that, the turtle and a really important kill on the jungler of INC. They have to get their pace back. They're kind of losing their rhythm. And look at that, Grok already trying to harass them on the blue buff.
Yeah, basically. I mean, like right now, Team INT, they're playing good, and even, Drog is given a lot of good vision against INC. Meanwhile, the EXP lane, oh, that was a nice Akai heavy spin coming up from them. They just got CC, but, there is no follow up coming from his teammate. But, yep, he will be taken out from the match.
And dude, look at Simon, look at the damage that musician is doing. One S2 took out like half of the Nolan's HP. And I think that is something we'll have to watch out for because it's only the early game. And Nolan is getting bursted down inside his own jungle. He has to be very, very careful about the kind of plays he makes because almost everybody in their lineup is able to stop him as of now.
Yeah, but okay, we're gonna say that, the goal it has been coming. Okay, that was a nice shadow coming up from Hayabusa. But he wouldn't be able to, take up from there because there was a three man onto the bot lane. Meanwhile, even the musician and Zeppelin was there trying to give up some support, but it's still early game. They won't be able to pick off three members down there. Oh, another word coming from the drop. But still from the team INT that has a more upper hand onto the goal lead and even the scoreboard has a favor onto them.
And right now, imagine making sure he gets every single hit possible. Look at the amount
Oh,
of damage that Shane is dealing with his skills. I think that is one perk of having Akai. His passive is so good for dealing damage, which is why he was so famous in the tank jungle meta. But on the other end of the map, Hayabusa and his team is chunking down that turtle really fast, Deadly making his way back. The retribution is still ready for them. He uses up the retry, does not get the buff in time. Shane with the heavy spin, the yo-yo blitz from CC, dealing in so much damage. The Raging Sandstorm is also used up already. CC will get caught out by Zushin. The fissure does not connect in time. The fight is still going on. Venom re-engages. A shadow kill is gonna be used up. Shane flickers out, and with that, the fight is over. Nobody falling just yet.
yeah, exactly. You know, they just retreated because they just need to play safe, especially for the early game. But we're gonna say onto the top lane, they're trying to push out the top lane. Meanwhile, Deadly, he needs to retreat. He just needs to get some of the heal. And yep,
And
Team INT just got the first turret onto the top lane. They have the more advantage right now, so that they can easily, push the mid turret. And meanwhile, onto the bot lane, we're gonna see that Insane is given a lot of annoying, especially for the 1-1. But that's gonna be a 4-man rotation.
And there is the camp, but their vision has been spotted out by the CC. This could be the time for a play. CC goes in a little too early, but the
Ooh,
vengeance is there, keeping her alive. The Grok searching for an opportunity. The heavy spin B is used up. Deadly will be diving in with the Raging Sandstorm. There is Claude with the Blazing Duet, trying to clean up. Picks up the kill on Shane. Both the roamers down. Will fall. Imagine, make it two. INC is back in this fight. They will try to get this match. They do not want to give up just yet. But look at that Venom, so hungry for that kill. But Deadly makes it out with a sliver of HP. And with that fight, I think INC is finally able to get a little map control. But will Azrael fall on the bot side?
I mean, Hayabusa don't have. Oh, that was a nice quad shadow and a gear shadow coming up from the Hayabusa. But no, when one just survive with that 1 HP, and he will be recalling. Meanwhile, onto the Zushin, really annoying, especially for the non-range heroes that she can easily pull up knockout coming out from her. That you don't want to face that, especially onto the game fight.
And
So with the nice
there's the
eternal time with the heavy
beautiful
spin.
oof. And I think, the turtle still will go up to the side of INT. There is an absolute menace coming up from the chain from Blay. Blay, he is still chasing down the Akai, but will have to back out for now. Procs the ultimate of 1-1, not just yet. Azrael wants the kill, unable to find it just yet. Venom dives in with the OG Shadow kill. The damage does not connect onto just one, and with that, they will regroup and back off for now.
Right now, Team INT has the more upper hand onto the goalie. That's gonna be a tricky. So if Team INC plays safe, get some of the objective, they can do an epic comeback right now because they from the Team INT they have been dominating Team INC. Meanwhile, they're trying to charge off the roll, but oh, that was a nice wall shot coming up from him, but didn't connect to any one of them. Bettina just used the Eternal Guard, and with that, they will just be retreating. Meanwhile, Akai do have the heavy speed. Let's see some of the, you know, heavy speed, but they just retreated. If we see onto the itemization, we're gonna say that Hayabusa with the Hunter Stride and he got the Sky Piercer. He doesn't have that Sky Piercer stage, but once he get one or two kills, he can easily take down the squishy or even the tanky heroes with a 1v1.
Exactly, and I think both the sides are kind of you see two Thunderbells coming out from the Khalid and the Akai. So as this game moves on, they're
Oh,
only gonna keep getting tankier. But right now, the goal lead is still in the favor of INT. They still have that comfortable 3k gold. The beautiful Eternal Guard, the nature's barrier gonna be used up, zoning away Envy. as he has to be sent back to the base to recall a big chunk of minions crashing down on the bot side. Four people rotation on either team in the mid side. Will there be a clash or will they choose to disengage? It's going to be the latter, as both teams trying to fight for Lord control. Who will be the first one to take the bait?
Both the things they are trying to give vision onto the Lord. It's just a level 1 Lord, but who knows, if you take the Lord, you can easily end the game. But we're gonna say that Zeppelin is also given a lot of vision. Meanwhile, even, Zushi, the vision and even the lantern she provides deal a lot of damage and even letting the team INT to fall back.
And
Another
there
risk.
is nature's barrier does not connect just yet. Shane poking out the opposing roamer. Zebling and Shane, I think both of them have a very different role to play this game. Brock is kind of mainly there for the vision, while Shane is the one making the sets for them along with Deadly. There it is. They will
Ooh.
commit on to Zebling. He's forced to wild charge, disengage, using it as a disengage. Deadly will get caught up by the yo-yo blitz, but not gonna be enough. Roystar is there to zone them away, but the Lord on the meantime has been started. Will Envy get the retribution? No, it is Venom. As the Imagine will dive in with the blazing duet, gets the kill. Deadly has fallen. They want to dive on to Shane. Will they get the kill? Not just yet. The flicker is used. But Imagine will proc up the 1-1's ultimate, as Imagine will fall with the Lord marching down on the bot side.
He just, taunted the when throws botane and he got punishment over there. But meanwhile, from the team INT, they got a lot, and that's gonna be a 0 out of 1. Like 1 of 1 trade from both of the teams. Shane just survived over that. And meanwhile,
Oh,
we're
oh,
gonna
oh.
say that Venom has been taken off by Nolan, the fracture, and even meanwhile, they need to retreat over here with that duration spectrum coming up from the college. But they cannot just use a flicker for our own defense. But onto the bot lane, Lord has been marching towards the inhibitor turret. Will the team INC be able to defend the inhibitor turret? Envy is really low. He needs to retreat right now.
Exactly. I think they should manage to defend it comfortably. They have a lot of damage online, because both these comps are kind of late game. You have the 1-1, you have the Claude. Maybe in terms of late game, INC is a little too reliant on the side of the 1-1, but on the opposite hand, you have Imagine and Musician, who have the late game damage, the burst that is always there from start to end. But on that note, I think that the Vision game so far, Zebling is kind of using most of his HP. There it is, the
Ooh.
set with the Eternal Guard along with the Wild Charge. It was a beautiful connection, but Shane was able to make it out alive with just that tiny bit of HP, allowing INT to INC to actually make that comeback for them. They really needed that comeback. They needed that map control. But look at that, Venom will dive in. The damage is insane. He gets the shutdown, make it a double kill. Both the main carries of INC will fall. Envy and Azrael sent back to base. Deadly there is quite low. He heals up and gets back.
Oh my god, like right now, if we see into the item section, imagine being getting gold, he has been getting corruption side with a DHS and even golden stuff. So he has been given a lot of damage against those tanky heroes, even for the Khalid or even Shane. Meanwhile, we're gonna see another charge coming up from the team INT with the Aka heavy speed,
Ooh.
and even Brock just used the wall charge over them. But I don't think Khalid will be able to, survive out there. That's gonna be a 1 out of 5 situation.
And I think that was a miscommunication coming out from the front line of INC, because Shane used his heavy spin to, disengage and protect his teammates, but Deadly kind of interpreted that as a dive in, because he went in really heavy with the commit. He used the Raging Sandstorm plus the flicker, got a beautiful 5-man catch, but his entire backline has already gone back to the inhibitor. And because of that mistake, they kind of give up that Lord for free, which will be marching down the bot side. And we'll have to see how will INC put up a defense against this comp that INT is fielding along with that Luminous Lord that will be crashing onto their inhibitor.
Yeah, exactly. That's true. Like as you have said, Lord is coming down onto the bot lane. Meanwhile, we're gonna say that the wall has been used by Drog, and she needs to retreat over there. They just need to defend the inhibitor turret. They will be losing the mid turret because the minions is up, and even onto the top lane, we're gonna see the Hayabusa with the culture that they're gonna be taken over. Oh my god, the Nolan has been getting pick up over there, but meanwhile the tornado has been used. We're gonna see that Akai has been taken off Hayabusa over there because he doesn't have the clutch to survive over there. Meanwhile, that's gonna be a 2 out of 0 trade.
Oh, I would say that's a 2 is to 1 because Deadly and Envy did manage to get out Venom. The crossbow of Tang gets baited out by the beautiful Winter Crown play coming up by CC. The minions are there. There's another wave crashing down bot. Can INC manage to make the defense? Shane dives in really heavily. He's gonna have to force to flicker that, and he makes it out with a sliver of his HP. His teammates are back. There is the play. Grok using up the wild charge, but it's Roysta getting the kill onto Vexana. She will fall. Deadly re-engages. Claude using up his Winter Crown. Not gonna be enough. He will fall. Blade is gonna dive in once again using the yo-yo to mash against the turrets. And look at the pace, man. It's getting chunked down. They have to focus on defending.
Exactly, that's true. Both of all of the land the minions has been reaching out the base, but meanwhile from the team INC they have been trying to defend the base, and yes, they did manage to defend out the base. And Nakai have been onto the Hayabusa. Will he be able to call out Hayabusa? But no, Hayabusa with the Quattroland and Okishida have been catching up them. But will he be able to survive over that?
Ooh.
Because Ikai is giving a lot of damage against him. Meanwhile, the War Charge has given up support over onto Hayabusa so that Hayabusa can able, easily able to survive over that. With the Garden coming up from the Vetsana, Team INC just need to retreat, and even Team INT, they're retreating, they're recalling over there. They stop engaging the team fight.
And with that, the Lord will be up in the next 10 seconds. A lot of important resources being used up by both teams, but they will be back as they're going to be ready to make a play. Look at that. Envy using a lot of effort to, get that bush and try to catch Venom off guard. Both the ultimates used up, but Envy with the shorter cooldown will be getting his fissure back as soon as possible. Venom already began chunking down the Lord. He has Imagine with him. Shane there opening up the map. The barrier is used up, zoning out INC, but they will get the catch onto the CC. Will they get the kill? No, he will not. The Winter Crown is there to make it happen. They will keep searching for a fight. Venom with the play. The Wind of Nature has been popped out, baiting out and zoning them away. And with that, I think it is going to be a free Lord from the side of INT. They did a really, really great job zoning out their opponents and will get their rightful reward with that massive 17-minute Lord. It's gonna be so tanky, and with the low HP that they have, it's going to be very difficult. But look at that, a beautiful play coming in by Musician with that flicker, but it's not going to be enough as Envy will make it out alive.
Yes, there was an outplay coming up from the team INT, especially the CC. He just let one win use a crossbow tank, but then he do have the winter to Oh, that was a nice Okishira and Quatshira coming up from the Hayabusa with the Akai heavy spin, but Nolan he needs to retreat, and even
No.
Akai and they're just marking the base over here because it's a luminous lord, and that's gonna be the end for the match. What? I mean, like Team INT, they just want to end the match as soon as possible. Meanwhile, Team INC, they try their best to defend, but didn't manage able to defend the Luminous Lord over there.
I know, I mean, that was rough. I expected INC would probably be able to pull off that comeback, but I feel they just committed a little too much onto that Lord, and then they didn't go all the way in, and that was the end because they lost all their inhibitors. And they have no lane clear, to be honest. Their only lane clear is that one. and she was getting zoned away from that fight, never really got to get online. The second she popped a crossbow of Tang, everybody and their grandmother would use up the Winter Crown or the Wind of Nature. So, it was a little difficult for them to really execute the game plan they had in mind. But Venom was well deserved MVP with the quad shadow, as you mentioned, and the shadow kill, ensuring that nobody from INC could get a break.
Yes, exactly. But even from the CC, he's trying to take off the trust button, and when one just was just marking him with the winter, he has been survived, 3 times. That's the reason from his teammate they have been getting a lot more advantage having the winter over on the itemization. But we're gonna see that Sushin with the zero that was an outplay coming up from Team INC. Meanwhile, the deadly he has been getting pick off again and again coming up from Hayabusa and even the Grove. And if we see into the team fight participation, we're gonna see that Hayabusa with a 92% damage and float onto the 62 turret damage. That's really insane coming up from the team INT. Meanwhile, from the team INC, Sushin onto the highest hero damage. What do you think about this? I thought Nolan would be the highest damage in the team.
I think the main reason would be that the Zujin was constantly activating her soul snare on the Grok. So she was the one doing a lot of damage onto this main tank. And at the same time, like I mentioned, the Hayabusa is just zoning everybody away. And without the Winter Crown, they're not able to stay in that fight. And yeah, Venom with that 92 team fight participation, like you mentioned, is actually insane. That's like a roamer, KDA, in terms of the
Exactly.
participation. But actually, all of those kills that he's got are solo kills. Like he got that double kill on the top, he got them on the bot. That was all him with the shadow kill. That's why the rest of his team is not crossing 60%.
Yes, exactly. That's true. So, guys, whoever are watching the stream, make sure you share the stream, subscribe to the channel, and then like it. And we will be back after the short break. Second match is up. Don't go anywhere. Just stay on the stream. between the team Celsius Esports versus Capis Esports. And I'm Sayumi again on the caster that we do have the most, you know, talented caster. That's gonna be Trisophies. So hello, Trisophies.
Ayo, Sayu. Dude, you give me a little too much credit, but thank you for the warm welcome. Welcome back again to the stream. Guys, it's me, Sayu. I hope you guys are as excited as we are because Celsius versus Copies. Both these esports teams are facing off against each other. Celsius on the blue side and Copies on the red side. Not gonna lie, Sayu, I'm kind of hyped. And with that Matilda ban, I'm expecting a lot.
Exactly. You don't want to face the Matilda. Forget about the early game. Meanwhile, for the mid till late game, he can easily, give a lot of support and even the shield, the guiding wings with the circling eagle. And once she get the flash of forces with the enchanted talisman, she gives a lot of heal. And even in the crucial team fight, you can easily survive with that guiding wing. So I prefer banning Matilda instead of, facing that hero. And it's gonna be a joy.
Oh, joy, joy, joy. That person just takes away the joy from the enemies while she just dashes around with that electrifying beats. Holy crap. You don't want that in your teams. Sorry, against you. You want to keep that in the ban section no matter what, especially in the high ranks, because joy is being spammed, especially after the M6, where the potential for joy has just skyrocketed. And like you said, Matilda will be paired up with that Lucas getting banned too. Damn, I'm not gonna lie, Lucas is a dangerous threat throughout the game. In the early game, his first skill does so much damage, and the ultimate basically has a free snipe that just chunks away a lot of HP. Why would MLBB make some hero this broken? Because even Yu Zong struggles against him.
It's like, he needs to get some nerf, that
Definitely.
especially, yeah, once he unleashed the beast and with the shockwave blast, he will just delete you and even if he can even give you a large, HP shift coming from him. There's a lot of damage that you don't need that you just need to retreat from the team fight or against
What
him. And even for the
100%.
special heroes like the mid laner, you don't want to face him once he unleashes the beast. He can easily just cut you up. He will just burst you down right away.
Yeah, yeah, I'm not gonna lie though. If you see that, it's Sasuke and Naruto. It's been confirmed, guys. Naruto, Sasuke, and it's going to be getting banned out of the ban section, out of the side of Celsius Esports. And with that, Copies Esports go for that Zushin ban. A very standard ban, if you ask me, because Zushin just keeps pulling people up, dropping them like bird poop, and just like walking away with such swagger. You don't want to face that if you are on, like, on the losing side, especially when Zushin gets herself a Sky Piercer. However, the Fanny too, getting banned off. Not gonna lie, the banning phase, or the first banning phase, is now over. Sayu, what's your predictions about the rest of the drafting that's gonna happen right now?
Like right now, there's a lot of meta hero ban, but for the mid lane, you do have Sicilian, you just grab these heroes. For the early game, he just needs some support, he just needs some of the stake and eye condition. Meanwhile, for the late game, he can easily carry, but they're just going for the show. They don't want to give show to the team copies esport. Joey is a flexible hero that he can go for ATC
Very.
or he can go for ROM. And with the takeoff and the way of dragon, if you just mark the backline, if you just marking you, you won't be able to survive in that.
100%. And talking about that, Show could also take down one hero, especially like maybe marksmen or mages, with a complete tank build. And that's what people are rocking nowadays, especially in the high ranks. It's always a tank build Show that just ruins my day. However, someone else that ruins my day is a Hylos and a Harriet combined. Imagine the kill box ratio when a Hylos uses the glorious pathway and there's a man force on the Harriet. Harriet just dashing on people, especially with the slow from the glorious pathway. Oh, that is a crazy combination coming in from the side of Copy Esports. And to counter that, I think it's going to be a Celsius Sicilian. If you, I don't know if that actually makes sense, but Celsius Sicilian might be a joke or a meme later on.
That's true. Like as you have said, Hylos and Harriet, that's a deadly combo right now. As you have said, the glorious pathway will give a lot of slowdown to anyone. Meanwhile, the Zaman Force with the Chronos Dash and the Synchros Fusion will give a lot of damage that you won't be able to survive in that team fight. And that's gonna be a bottom out onto the carry. Meanwhile, Nico's Queen is onto the Farsa.
Oh man, I almost thought it was going to be a Celsius Sicilian. Nope, it's going to be a Farsa onto the side of Team Celsius to pair up against that Hylos and Harriet. Carrie getting picked, and I think Harriet should actually go for that Vengeance most probably because Carrie is going to hurt a lot, especially with that buff on the ultimate, where she now deals a flat 60 damage every basic attack. Holy crap, that's insanely buffed onto the side of Carrie by the side of the MOBA Legends, and Hayabusa getting picked onto the side of Team Copy Esports. How do you think the second banning phase is going to go through right now?
Oh, that's gonna be an EHP ban coming from the same copies esport, because Joe is going for the roam, and meanwhile for Team Celsius they don't have the roamer. Meanwhile, even jungler, so Team copies esport they just need to ban the jungler or the EHP lane right now. Even meanwhile from the Team copies esport, then they. Hylos is a flexible pick. He can go for EHP or he can go for roam. But Celsius Sports, they don't want to face Tidro. The implosion with the flicker can change the game. Even your
Fair,
teammate is left behind also.
fair, but like, wouldn't it be better if Tigreal was on the side of Team Celsius because the Farsa that show the Tigreal they would work so well together, especially with a good setter, hyper, and a good, a roam that team Celsius could actually just utilize to have so many good plays. However, I don't see that happening. But like you said, the hyper getting banned onto the side of team copies. They decided they want to cut down on the options in the hyper department, and they go for just that. They're going for that hyper alpha, a good hero that can actually be flexible. Yeah, true. Could be using the EXP, but not very common in terms of tournament play. But the hyper position is where he's dominant at, and he will get banned.
Yep, exactly. Alpha, once he get the snowball onto the early game with the Sky Piercer, he can just dominate the game. That he can easily carry the early game till late. He's really tanky. Meanwhile, he deals a lot of damage with the Spear of Alpha. And that's gonna be a Vecna ban coming from the team Celsius Esports. So Vecna is also deadly, with the deadly drafts and the curse blast onto the team fight. You don't want to face that. You won't be able to survive with that and with the
Oh,
eternal part.
oh, but then did you notice they actually go for that Gatot Kacha onto their side? Team copies go for the Gatot EXP. That means Hylos is going to be the roam and Gatot is going to be the EXP. To counter that, they need a lot of either true damage or they need a lot of potential magic damage because Gatot Kacha gets a lot of tankier when his HP is low, but that tankiness is only onto the physical side, not the magic side. And he is a perfect counter to most heroes that actually go for physical damage, like Carry and Show. However, Farsa might be able to troll him a little bit, and to counter that, I think a Hilda would be good. But I'm questioning that Lancelot. Oh no, Abyss TZ goes for that glue pick. I get it now. Why did they ban Vexana? It's because they want a glue on their side, and to top it all off, a cherry on top, a Lancelot, and a Faramis getting picked as the last picks for both teams. Holy crap, Sayu. They actually thought of this a little ahead of time.
Yeah, exactly. That's gonna be like as you have said, the far mistake coming from the team copies esports. That's gonna change the game, especially on the team fight. He can easily letting his teammates survive in a crucial time. And
True.
it's gonna be an Abyss onto the blue. Meanwhile, the Nile onto the Lancelot. If Lancelot get the snowball into the early game, he can easily execute all of the match. But we're gonna see whoever means the drafts are really pretty good, but it depends on how you execute.
100%, but that Faramis is going to counter that glue so bad. I feel bad for him already. However, did you remember that glue had a bug where Vengeance actually procced on every single one of his little minions? Holy crap. If Faramis was against a Vengeance glue back then when the bug is still active, he would have had a bad time. But that bug has been fixed, guys. And we are slowly going into the land of Dawn. Sayu, what's your predictions on this match?
Welcome to MOBA Legends!
Yeah, I can predict right now because both of the teams, the drafts are really pretty good.
Seconds till we
They do
begin
have the
reaching
early
the
game
battlefield.
heroes, they do have the
Smash
late
them!
game heroes. Meanwhile, even from the team copies is for, the first pick is also pretty good because she deals a lot of damage, especially into the early game. Meanwhile, for her, there is Hayabusa that he can easily catch Nico's Queen with the Quad Shadow and Ogi Shadow that can easily execute him.
True, true, but let Rome show though. He's actually going in a little too greedy in terms of taking in a lot of damage, but he is dishing out a good amount of CC for Farsa to come in and swoop and do damage. However, how is the Faramis? Oh, look at that though. The Cho is going for the Jeet Kundo onto that Faramis and that Gatot, but will not be enough to kill any of them. Will be forced to retreat because Hylos is here. All of a sudden, look at that damage though. Cho is engaging. The Revitalize has been procced, and Glue is on his way to actually help his team. But he was a little too late. If he was there a little bit earlier though, he could have actually gotten a kill.
Yeah, that's true. But we're gonna see onto the top lane, Hayabusa is trying to get the gold trap and he's trying to pick off Bakimat over because he do have the Kojiro and do have the Ogi Shadow. Meanwhile, we're gonna see the Hayabusa. Is it gonna be
Oh
unfortunate
my
coming onto the
god.
yeah?
Hayabusa going in and just taking out that carry. Oh no. Bakimura is getting taken down inside the tower by the hands of Hayabusa and Harriet. Oh no, that's not something that you want to see in the early game. Definitely not.
Exactly. You don't want to give the early game, kills to Hayabusa. Once he get the snowball, you won't be able to catch him off guard easily because he can easily run away with the, shadow.
Oh, look at that though. Cho is engaging on with the carry, doing a lot of damage. Even that quad
Ooh.
shadow is not going to save him. He will be taken out before the turtle spawns in the bot side of the map. Look at that. That was not a good trade-off in the early game, especially if you are a Hayabusa. Josie, what are you thinking? Take it easy, bro. As Lancelot has started Turtle, he's used his ultimate and puncturing that Turtle. He's taking it down pretty easily before anybody comes in. Hylos not there in time. Gatot and Faramis don't have an opening to actually engage. But look at that. Farsa stunning the Faramis, maybe yes, he will stun it and will escape in the bird form. Neko's queen is on a roll. She's just escaping without any punishment.
Yeah, but, Hayabusa just died before the turtle, then that's gonna be a free turtle for the team. CELCIUS Esports, that means they have the more upper hand onto the goal lead right now. That's gonna be, even a 100 or 200 goal lead makes different onto the early game.
Definitely.
And
But talking about that, Cho is standing there giving vision like a good roamer should always do, and he's allowing his team Farsa and Lancelot not to take too much damage. But look at that, the quad shadow. Oh, that
oh,
way of the dragon catching him off guard out of nowhere. Bro didn't even see that coming. He just got kicked into oblivion because Farsa and Lancelot were right there to make sure he was taken out before he could even blink. Holy crap.
dang, that was a nice way of Dragon Super Iron Man. He was just standing there, but oh, that was a nice
Oh,
flurry
Farsa's
effect coming up from
ultimate,
the
but
first.
Lancelot's taken down pretty fast. Look at that. Farsa's ultimate not enough to take anybody down. Part of the Hylos and the Farmers, though, chasing down the Farsa and the Cho will put a lot of pressure on the top lane. Glue is a little too far behind again. Will have pushed the bot lane, though. Not really strong. However, value is there.
Right now, they have a 1k goal is coming up from the team. Oh, Neposkane is onto the deep trouble. He just left with a 1 HP survive over that. But we're gonna see another team fight over here.
Oh man, and my god, the Zaman Force has been propped, and Cho is in a little bit of a too much trouble. He will be taking a lot of damage, he will escape. However, the Revitalize has been procced on the Gata Kacha, the carry. Bakimur, they're doing a ton of damage, but that will be healed off completely. But then again, Lancelot had all the time in the world to actually take the turtle, but he decides to actually back off because Hylos and Gata Kacha decided to disengage and go back to the base. But Lancelot does not know that. He needs his team to be there for a turtle fight.
Yes, exactly. Onto the first turtle, there is not contest, but right now, I think Hayabusa will get his red buff and he will just starting come onto the turtle, but it's gonna be a four-man rotation over here onto the turtle and coming up from the team Celsius Esports. Meanwhile, you know, Hylos is giving some of the vision and with the AOG.
Oh, the AOG connecting on nobody because the Lancelot was able to immune that, but he does not have
What?
the second skill ready. He will be taken down, and Glue is in a peculiar spot because he's attached himself to Gata Kacha, but Gata Kacha is having the backup from his team. Fatal Links from the Faramis pulling Glue back from the verge of escaping, but he will not go back. He is in for more blood. He is trying to get the Hylos. He is doing everything he can to actually slow him down, making him less likely to escape, and that ultimate from the Farsa. The Revitalize has been forced, but in the top lane, Sho is looking in for a kill. The Way of the Dragon and the Jeet Kune Do doing a ton of damage, but the Purify on the Harriet, oh, that saved him. But look at that, the Gata taunted the Cho to stay there in one place, allowing Josie to get the kill. Look at that, the Faramis and everyone from Team Copies is in the top lane. Bakimura didn't have a chance to escape, and with that minion there deciding to push the top lane without any pressure whatsoever. The stun from the Farsa stuns the Cho, but that's not going to help anybody because not the Cho, the Hayabusa. The ultimate from the Farsa, though, a little too less timed. Harriet just had enough mana to escape. Destroy the tower in the mid, though. Lancelot trying to escape. What do you think is going to happen? Do you think Lancelot's going to escape? Oh, of course he is. He's the Dash King.
Yeah,
OG Dash King.
exactly.
Oh, but
Oh,
the
that's
top
gonna
lane.
to the top lane.
Being caught again. The flicker being forced. He will survive. He will live to not see another day. Look at the Jeet Kune Do combo coming in from the Cho, catching that Hayabusa and Farsa taking the kill. That means pressure on the top lane is going to be immense.
Yeah, but Team Celsius Esports that they have been already taken out the mid turret and even the bot. Meanwhile, they have been taken off the top. But they have more advantage right now because the mid turret is still there and even the bot. But
Oh,
Lance gonna be
Lancelot,
taken off hurried.
Lancelot's quick thinking got him down so fast. I am impressed.
The phantom execute is real once it's connected to anyone. But we're gonna see that at this CG, he's been a lot of annoying, especially for the Roita and even the Blazingo.
Yup, and he's zoning everyone away from the turtle. That means all three turtles will go to the side of Team Celsius Esports. The AOG connecting on nobody. The Phantom Execute doing a ton of damage, but will not be enough. Farsa will get the kill. Double kill for the carry. The triple kill, getting the Harriet and the Faramis down. They might be looking in for more. The stun onto that Hylos will actually put him in a tough spot. Look at that, though. The Glue's connection with the ultimate. The Cho's Way of the Dragon getting the Hayabusa and forcing the ultimate. The Ogi Shadow kill is forced. Carry getting a mega kill. That would have been an easy savage if Carry continued on the blood path that he was on. That forces Carry to actually take the blue buff out of the hands of Hayabusa, who actually overextended. Nice stuff.
That's true. Gary has been getting picked off onto the early game by Hayabusa. He got the first blood, but meanwhile, Gary is a deadly hero onto the late game that he can easily pick off anyone, even the squishy. Forget about the squishy. He can easily pick off the thing. And right now, he is dominating. He got the snowball with the 5-2-1. The KD is real. And even the Farsa. Ooh,
Oh, look, the Phantom Execute. He does not steal the buff from the hands of Hayabusa. Hayabusa uses the Retribution right on time and will use the second skill, the Ogi Shadow kill. But in the meanwhile, I was not actually noticing, but in the mid lane, there was a fight inside the tower tier 2. And also, Hayabusa might be in a peculiar spot. Phantom Execute used again, and I think Josie will be able to escape without any consequences whatsoever. But in the mid lane, there might be another fight. Look at the Faramis trying to engage. Carry doing a ton of damage. But then again, will get stunned and will get forced back. But Farsa's ultimate gets the
ooh.
kill on the Hylos inside the tier 2. Good stuff. Not gonna lie though, I didn't expect that kill to actually happen, but Farsa just made it happen. He's a miracle worker, making miracles happen. Neko's queen. What game sense? What gameplay?
Yeah, that was an outplay coming, gameplay coming up from the Nico screen. With the Federer's right, he just deleted the Hylos. Hylos do have a more tanky, but Federer's right did give a lot of insane magic damage coming up from him. If we see into the item session first out with the glowing one and as well as the blood wings. Meanwhile, Hylos he just need the Radiant or the Athena for that magic damage at this point.
True, but then again, if you think about it, Hylos does not have any magic defense. He only has HP. Gatot looking in for a taunt, but Carrie and her lightweight spin wheels doing a ton of damage. Way of the Dragon proc getting the kill on the Gatot, who was trying to actually survive, but that flicker combo is going to be the death sentence for you. The Phantom Execute inside the tower, not a good idea. Forcing the puncher, and that puncture will puncture Lancelot's skill set before he will get taken down in a matter of seconds. While it's a 4v4, I think the game is actually siding towards Celsius Esports, and Bakhmut is actually pretty farmed up right now. He has the Trinity,
Yep.
he has the Rose Gold ready almost, and he will look in for another kill maybe.
Okay, the AOG connects to not
Hey.
only what we're gonna see that the
Oh,
height
AOG.
of the quad shadow, but not enough damage to pick up blue. You should have given your quad shadow onto the mid laner or the goal lane right now from the team copy 64, but he just used the quad shadow to blue.
Fair enough, but then again, anti-Cuirass in the hands of Hayabusa.
Oh,
Okay, oh, look at that glorious pathway has been used. Bakhmut in a tough spot. The rose gold meteor proc, but that will not be enough to actually save him. Oh, Abyss TZ also taking a ton of damage. Super I am also taking a ton of damage. Everyone forced to retreat. Not looking good for their team. Celsius Esports are losing the momentum. Here comes the Faramis looking in for another kill inside the base. Sorry, inside the tower tier 1. And look at that. Lancelot gets a kill on the Hyriath, who was actually playing pretty well. Look at that, though. The ultimate from the Hayabusa almost got the kill. Onto that. The Lancelot, but Farsa just turning it completely around, taking him down as he was trying to escape. Beautiful stuff. That's the power of teamwork right there, my friend.
exactly the Nego screen. The first Feather Strike did connect to Hayabusa, and that's gonna be a 0 out of 2 3 coming from the team. No, 2 out of 2 3 coming from both of the teams. But if we're gonna see, the goal lead has been the favor of the team Celsius Esports. So right now, Team Profit Esports they just need to, defend the inhibitor turret. They have been losing all of the turret onto the bot and even onto the top lane. Meanwhile,
Look
the
at
mid
that,
turret
though.
with a half HP left.
Look at that though. Glue is just taunting that the Gatot. He's just not letting him go anywhere. But that show trying to connect onto that Gatot, not good though. It's not worth it if you're trying to kill somebody as tanky as him. But then again, all of his teammates were a little too far for him to actually engage, so both of them decide to disengage. But the AOG, oh look at the feathered airstrike though, almost connecting onto that Faramis and the Hayabusa second time, but it will not be enough to take him down. Hylos was there, but Barca decided, nah, it's not worth it. It's too much HP for me to actually chunk down. So they decided to take it easy, take a step back, and drink a pint of. Oh, look at that though! Before I complete my sentence, Ito
Paris.
trying to engage onto that Lancelot. Lancelot doing a ton of damage to the Harriet, forcing him to retreat. And I think he won't commit to that because, well, Hayabusa was there. But one thing though, that show getting tucked in by the hands of team copies. They're tucking him in to sleep, and they are not gonna stop. Copies are actually looking in for a kill, but the Lord getting taken down. Luminous Lord onto the side of Team Celsius Esports. The Jeet Kune flicker combo not connecting, but the ultimate from the Faramis saving his team. The Ogi Shadow kill though, it is enough to do a ton of damage, but will not be the setter. But the Lancelot getting caught by the AOG, not good, not looking good for Team Celsius Esports. They are forced to retreat. The Faramis doing a ton of damage onto that Farsa, forcing that Winter Crown, but will get taken down in the process. Abyss TZ in a tough spot, 1 versus 4. And I think all that taunting is coming back to him. Triple kill onto the hands of Faramis. who is doing a beautiful amount of damage for his team, allowing his team to actually survive and also making sure his team works together. But in the top lane, off camera, Hayabusa getting taken down by the hands of Carry. Bakimur going insane with the light wheels, spinning around, jumping around, not letting Hayabusa breathe even for a split second. All the spinning blades just flying onto his face. He had no idea what shuriken hit him because, well, it's not a shuriken at all. It's a light wheel, and nobody knows what that is.
He should have recalled instead of, clearing up the minions because Gary was just going out
True.
there. He knew that, Hayabusa, the vision that provides coming out from the first, Gary knew that he was just not even retreating, and even the minions was up there, up over there, and he has already been getting punished up by Pokemon. Meanwhile, even Team Copies Esports are playing good right now. They have impact onto the track, taken out Versa, Shuffle down. That was a pretty good thing coming from the Team Copies Esports. Meanwhile, Super IM given a lot of vision. He will just run inside the bush with a chip window and he will just come out.
True, true. But look
As
at
a
that.
roamer, he's been pretty good.
Yeah, look at the items though. Both Abyss TZ and Super IM actually have the roam
Mhm.
items. And I think Ryota is actually overextending a little too much in most team fights, and he's not getting punished for any of that. However, how can you punish the guy? He is literally going to give immortality to his team, whole team. But then again, Carry doing a ton of damage, G2 and Go connecting onto the Hylos and also the Hayabusa. Hayabusa's ultimate, the Shadow Ogi kill, getting the kill on the Hy. No, okay. Cho goes down, but it's still up to Carry. Bakimur is still alive, and Lancelot gets the tower in the mid lane without anybody noticing, right under their noses.
Yes, right now Lance is giving a lot of damage if we see into his items and handles right with the Glad of Disperse and Endless and Malefic. Why? I don't know. He's not going for the Sky Piercer. Meanwhile, from the team copies, he spot Hayabusa onto the Sky Piercer with a 26% stack. He can
Well,
easily pick off the mid laner or the goal lane right away.
true, true, but like
So,
Skypiercer is kind of overrated if you think about it. It's only a good in the early
yeah,
game.
that's true.
Once you hit it in the late game, you decide to actually sell it and buy a Blade of Despair. It's still going to do a lot of damage, a lot more damage than the Skypiercer. Even though Skypiercer gives you a little bit of, how do you put it? Movement speed? It's not really worth it in the late game. However, Harriet in the bot lane taking down the tower tier 1. Good stuff. They're actually deciding to keep on to the objectives because only one tier 1 was taken prior to this, and now they have two. However, onto their side, they literally lost 6 towers.
Yes, exactly. And here comes a Luminous Lord. I think it's gonna be the retreat battle over here and another team fight onto the Lord. Meanwhile, we're gonna
Yup.
see onto the top lane team CELCIUS Esports. You just need to clear up the minions and then gain the Lord at this point. Because whoever takes the Lord,
100%.
they can easily clear up you know, the base.
100%. But if you think about it, I think right now, Show, Super IAM is taking a ton of damage. Abyss TZ, about Duke Tundo connecting on the three people.
Oh,
But that Hayabusa was going to steal the Retribution off the nose of the Lancelot. But look at that. Hayabusa getting taken down by the hands of Ferris Farsa, who actually had very lock onto him. And will. Oh, look at that flicker from the Ryota. He takes down the Farsa, but in the bot lane, we saw that Carry got a kill too. That is a 3-for-2 trade onto the side of Team Copies Esports, and Harriet and Ryota are looking in for another kill. Abyss TZ almost got taken down by the hands of that Ryota, and I think Cho is looking in for something. I think he's stopping them from recalling back to base. I think they actually plan to make a rat push. No, no, not happening. Nope, nope. Cho couldn't find the rest of the team, so he had to back off. Carry is going to be a little, problematic situation, but the forces the ultimate off of Aramis. Okay, okay, okay. And
oh my
Harriet is a little too
god.
low. That means it's going to be an easy defense. Sayu, I'm loving the gameplay right now.
Did you just see the Pokemon damage coming up from, Harry? He just
Yeah.
let Ryota use the Nidarium over here so that he can survive in that damage coming up from Carry. That was
Holy
insane.
crap.
It's already late game Carry with all of his itemization. Right now, he will be a real pain in us, especially for the squishy and even the tanky heroes.
100%. And I think right now, Hayabusa is literally giving all the blue buffs to Etho, the Harriet, so that he can actually spam. I think he has 30% cooldown reduction and he needs the 40%. And that's why Hayabusa is giving the buff to him. And I think with everyone alive and every ultimate ready, all the Farsa's ultimate has been used. Cho getting caught in a tough position. He will be forced to retreat. He will be able to retreat. Zaman Force also used up. Lancelot in the top lane. He's not ready to take any fights right now. Hayabusa may be looking in for a kill, like you said, onto the mid laner or the gold laner, but he will be forced back to retreat. Sorry, he will be forced back to defend the push that's happening in the top side. I think Celsius Esports has it in the bag.
Yeah, I mean, right now, Team Celsius Esports have the more upper hand onto the scoreboard, and even the that was a nice, you know, and the AOG connects to Natalia again, coming from the Team
Oh,
Celsius Esports.
AOG useless. It was his death sentence. He literally was melted down by the hands of Carrie. Harriet also taken down. With that, the Hayabusa getting taken down, and Lance has his goals set in mind. He wants to push the bot side, but Farsa in a tough spot. The immortality being used, and the ultimate from the Faramis will not save him. He will be pulling the Abyss TZ into the base in the Nexus. Tier 3 is getting taken down in the mid lane. Jeet Kune Do,
Oh my
not enough to
god.
actually save anybody. Lancelot sweeping in for the kill, and Bakimura doing a ton of damage to the Hylos, who was already low in HP. Lancelot getting taken down, and I think it's going to be an easy dubs for the side of Team Celsius Esports. That's a GG's. And look at them just flaunting their recalls. As Winter Crown and everything goes out, this is a game that actually just went out because the Nexus on the side of Team Copies Esports is taken out.
That was an outplay coming up from the Bakimard. He is getting picked off onto the early game. Meanwhile, he just carried the whole match for the late game, though. But we're gonna see the Copies Esport Roita. He just played really good, with the flicker coming up from him, just delayed Nico's Queen over in that Lord fight. That was
Holy
all play
cow.
coming up from him, and even he got the triple kill in this match. That was an insane move coming up from the mid lane. Meanwhile, if we see into the damage, we're gonna see that carry with the highest hero damage. That's gonna be 36% with the turret damage 62. That was insane for the golden.
Yup. And he has the third least. I think Farsa is definitely gonna have the least amount of damage taken. He was playing really safe. However, Ryota actually did shine a lot throughout the game. He did not buy himself the fleeting time, so his ultimate was on cooldown in a crucial team fight when AOG was procced, and that led to Gatok getting taken out. He did not have the ultimate ready, and then he got taken out pretty fast too inside the Nexus. Holy crap. I hated to see that happen because Ryota was handling everything in the mid game, and it just fell off really bad because of a few mistakes onto the side of Team Copies Esports.
Yeah, that's true. But whatever it is, there will be only one winner.
Yup.
So congrats to the team Celsius Sports for moving on to the next round, and Copies Sport. This is not the end for you guys. There is more upcoming tournament. Just practice well and then do come back onto the next time. And see you guys after the short break.
Let's sing a song.
Round three. And we are back for an exciting match between Inko on the blue side versus, well, I'm just not going to lie here. Sebastian, who do we have Inko facing against?
It's the one and only the boys. So these
Oh
guys
my
are really insane, man. I'm
God.
telling you, I've seen Inko as well, but the boys, oh my goodness me, the retribution battles, they're so freaking their timing is so freaking well placed. As a Shiro, their roamer is so freaking good as well. And Kid Putuno, I just want to say, I just want to troll him, so I'm just gonna say you're just uh, a Vixana spammer. So, but we love you, bro.
Not gonna lie though, these teams are actually pretty scary. Both of them
Exactly.
actually have a lot under their belt. They have a lot of championships and
Mhm,
stuff. However, they're
mhm.
actually gonna go for the Fanny and Joy band. That's pretty standard, especially in the jungle. What do you think are the next bands that's gonna come up?
I would like to, confess that if they don't really ban Vixana, even though I'm trolling him, Kid Petuno over here is a really, really good mage player. So I would love to see that they would need to ban a Vixana. Otherwise, they need to ban a roamer because their roamer in the boys is really good. But again, Inco, they're really, really good and really strong when it comes to improvising as well. So I'm not really surprised to see what they would pick off when they're going to counter pick the heroes that the boys have picked up as well. Don't you think so, Crucifix?
Ayo, ayo, ayo. When you mention the boys, it's like A Train just running over people and Homelander just crashing in out of nowhere. I think Gato
Yeah,
Catch Up is a must pick in this match. But then again, Suyu and Harriet getting banned off in the second banning phase, and third ban is happening. How do you think it's gonna pan out? Vexana ban? Maybe, maybe, maybe not. Who knows? Starfire is all that matters.
exactly. I agree with you, Crucifix. I would say maybe the assassins would be kind of a prioritized ban here because they're the ones
Okay,
who are going
okay.
to be controlling the jungling lane, which is I think probably the most important in the whole freaking game. Because if they don't get their retribution battles with timing and everything, and they don't get the objectives, that is their downfall. And that is
True.
why you need a really strong jungler in every single team, or even if it's just classic or even if it's the ranked. If you have a really, really strong and potent jungler, then there we go. It's an easy win for your team as well. Oh, Hilda has been banned out, which I'm kind of surprised, but not really as well. So Crucifix, could you care to explain for the viewers as well why Hilda might have been banned?
Hilda has been rising up in popularity, especially after that buff on the second skill. The 2 seconds cooldown
Mm-hmm.
on that second skill allows her to have less
Oh.
downtime, making her a presence in every single fight. She just goes back into the
Mm-hmm.
bush, heals up, gets a shield, and comes back charging with a second skill and a first skill combo, just destroying people, demolishing them. Especially if you
Mm-hmm.
put them in the roam position, she can harass an enemy
Oh
jungler
my.
to the point where early game is just impossible. However, Granger in the late game, that's something that's worthwhile watching, and that's gonna get banned. But the Zushin was left open, and they go for it.
Oh.
Team Inco are going in for that Zushin pick. First pick, I think they should have drafted better. The team, the boys, don't seem to be daunted in the slightest.
Crispy, don't you think that was a little too fast on, picking that Zukin over there for the side of Inco? But there we
I
go, Kipitino going in for Sicilian. And Luke is finally being picked off as well by Balinar. Balinar is their EXP player for the boys as well.
Valinar sounds kind of familiar. I'm not gonna lie. That sounds like the Night Stalker. That's the Night Stalker's name in Dota 2.
Yes!
Holy crap, Valinar, dude! No, I'm seeing
You
Dota
know,
2 references left and right today.
there
I'm
we
not gonna
go.
lie. Oh,
Oh
not gonna
my
lie
goodness,
though.
you just mentioned it. I'm like, oh no, wait a minute. It's like every time I mention the word Balinar, it's like I feel like I've heard that somewhere, and it's been like that for the past few months because I've seen them play. I joined the live stream that they're streaming and they're playing ranked games. I'm like, where do I heard this name from? And there you go. You finally mentioned it. Thank you so much, Crucifix, for that.
Dude, I kid you not. I was a Dota addict. I used to play Dota 2 all the time, and now in
That,
Mobile Legends, I'm seeing a Balinar. I'm seeing so many people. I'm only left to see Yasvet S, who was my favorite hero, by the way. Shadow Fiend.
ooh,
Oof, that's the name that I
Shadowfiend.
want to see someone rocking in a tournament. But then again, we are back into the second phase of ban and like picking, and they go for the Khalid and the Gatad Kacha. That means they have a lot of potential in the roaming department because Zushin has a lot of mobility. Khalid has a lot of mobility,
Mhm.
and
Exactly.
Gatot can keep people in place for a while after taunting them. But then again, that Sicilian and Hylos, nice combination onto the
Ooh.
side of team the boys.
Okay, that is a lot of sustain coming in, is because they have high loss. They even have Sicilian as well, the Feast of Bats, the ultimate skill of his. It kind of just heals him back up while giving him stacks as well. So that's not really something you need to you want to go against, especially if you're about to kill the mage and they just like, you know what? Nah, don't kill me. I have my ultimate skill yet. So it's gonna be the fact that I'm gonna be the one killing you. And that is exactly what I think, Sicilian is best explained as. When you're gonna kill him,
True.
he just kills you right back. So that's just the kind
True,
of
man.
hero he is.
Oh man, especially with that Hisoka skin, which probably will get picked onto the side of
Ooh.
team, the boys, because well, the boys are known for being very crazy, and Hisoka is also known for being very crazy. But then again, crazy bands coming in the second banning phase, being Cho
Ooh.
and Brody, not something that you see in the band section, but Cho is versatile since season 3, where he was released, and
Exactly.
Brody has always been a pain in everyone's eyes because that guy is just so much potential in terms of damage and
Mhm.
also taking down people, especially with that Sky Piercer. Oof.
I think in terms of like finishing off opponents, he is the most set up player to kill. Like to get that finishers off on the opponents as well. So Brody is probably the perfect hero for that. I have to say that. What do you think about that?
100%. 100%. But another hero that can take off people from around anywhere they are, Hayabusa getting banned too. Not gonna lie,
Mm.
Hayabusa has a lot of potential and he is fit
Mhm.
to be in the ban section 99% of the time. Sometimes you can let him slide,
Mhm.
but then again, those times when you let him slide, he just goes on a rampage.
Exactly.
And the last ban, Inko, has it. What do you think is gonna be the ban that's gonna happen?
What about a Ling? I would like to see a Ling ban over here. Oh, Irithel. All right. So Moon is their goal
Wait.
laner for the boys, and Irithel has been wiped out of his hero pool. And I guess that's gonna go for the same for Inko as well.
Oh man, I'm gonna be honest with you. Right now, Carry is open, and a bunch of other gold
Mhm.
laners who have a lot of potential. Carry could definitely handle Ikari and also the Khalid, but then again, they go for that X-Borg. But like you said, Sebastian, they're actually hovering towards a Link pick.
Maybe Nolan would be fine too, but I think a Ling would be much, much better considering that, Kit Petuno is on Sicilian. And Sicilian, you need a lot of burst. Even if you don't have sustain, if you have that burst, she can easily be picked off as well. So I think maybe, yeah, they are going for the. Oh, okay. I was hoping a Beatrix to be picked out here, but I am looking at a Nathan. What is this crucifix? There we go. The Nathan pick has been picked out.
Well, Nathan is going to be a little too hard to pull off in this match, especially against the Sicilian Hylos and also that X-Borg. It's going to be hard for him, but if he times his ultimate right, he will be able to escape from most situations. And Claude is the last pick onto the side of team. The boys, they have a full team of only male heroes. I think they're lower accurate, the boys.
Exactly. I would have to see. Okay, that was really smooth, by the way. But I think I really love this Slot's new skin, the Prime skin, the
Yup,
M6 Prime. I have
100%.
to say, it is peak. Like when it comes to design, the sleekness, it doesn't show that it's copying off, a cheap thing. We don't have time, so let's just copy a little bit off of some of the heroes, and that is not what they did with this M6 Prime. So I really love the fact that they worked really hard on it as well. And there we go. Sadly, he's using Bad Bro. I was hoping you'd go use the Prime skin. There we go.
Well, to be
My
honest, the Prime
goodness.
skin might be a little overrated. However, well,
Mhm.
because everyone has it, but now that
Yeah, you
Sanrio skin is shining pretty well too.
Mhm. I agree. I would say Nathan's going to be a really big pain in the ass as well because he deals magic damage. So, immune is not gonna really going to work out here. The Wind of Nature is out, of the item pool here for Claude as well. So he's
Yeah,
gonna. But then again, I would like to say Rose Gold Meteor really well done this time because it's made for the marksmen along with the fighters, but they're kind of leading it onto the marksmen, which I don't really understand why. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the land of dawn, and we are here. Let's see which teams love their jungler. I love to make bets on this as well.
oh man, man, don't do that here. We're in the caster desk. We don't do that. However, both teams are hovering towards the blue buff, and I think Ling has the rotation idea to go to the bot lane. That is the goal lane.
Mhm.
And Khalid, after helping Ling clear a little bit of the damage and also tanking it, he is going back to the EXP lane. But that cannot be said for Oh, look at that though. The Khalid doing a ton of
Oh,
damage, but Lucas's first skill doing even more. Holy crap. Look at that. He's just chonking that
honestly.
down.
It's not really the fact that he deals that damage, but it's also the fact that he can like literally stop certain, like maybe certain or all of the skills that include dash. He can see. Look at
Yeah.
that! Immediately, what I just mentioned, he just stops it, and it just like that's the kind of window that he can open for himself as well. So that is what Balinar really needs to maybe abuse a little bit here, but that is working really well out here for the boys here,
Oh,
and I think Lan will be able to escape that. Really, really lucky as well because the flicker had been popped up. But I think we're
on the
looking
bot
at
lane.
a kind of a fight on the bot lane as well, Crucifix.
Yup. And I'm not gonna lie, that flicker being forced out, I think he won't have a flicker ready for the next team fight. But in the top lane, we see Xborg and Ling going into a little skirmish of their own with nobody else to support them. They're just doing a ton of damage to each other, and that forces Ling to use the regen
Oh
spell
no.
and also pressure on the jungle. Xborg has it a little tough. Ling is still not level 5 yet, but that means the retribution battle is going to be a free for all. But in the mid
That
lane,
is
look at that
oh my
Hylos
goodness.
and Sicilian catching Ikari out of nowhere. Ling getting the first blood on Lucas, who was low on HP. But then again, that happened off camera. I didn't expect that to happen. Holy crap.
My goodness me, I think maybe I think they could have gone maybe pushed off a little bit quicker than possible over here. But then again, that could be a decent time to get that retribution in on the turtle. But he will leave it out here. I think. Oh my goodness me, Nathan has been back picked out in the bot lane here by none other than Moon. And there we go.
Moon.
The retribution battle is gonna happen over here. And I think, oh my goodness me,
Oh my.
Shane gets it from the boys as well. What a beautiful play. Look at Balinar going in. Ikari jumping out of the fight there. And I think that was a necessary shot there. Yushin trying to get his way as well. What a beautiful, beautiful combo coming in from Ling. And there we go. A 3-man knockout while Inko is all available over here. Oh my goodness me. What a beautiful fight, Crucifix.
Turtle, who needs a turtle? It's all about the kills, but look at that blazing duet.
Oh,
Taking him
again.
down. Holy
Oh,
crap, that
no.
did not happen. That just did not happen. Oh my god, Yu Yang, he got taken out pretty fast. He's losing his lane against a Claude. And that vengeance, holy crap. That is going to be the only saving grace for Claude.
I would like to say that the buff onslaught that is I think he kind of really fell apart, especially because he uses mana, and with the updated skills that he's got, he's in so much potential to go against certain heroes that even he considers like as a counter as well. But oh my goodness me, the Tempest of Blade not working out for his teammates, and he's finally taken down by State as well. And a beautiful triple kill to replace what was lost. All of that gold immediately. Look at that. They immediately equalizing the gold as well. What a beautiful play from Stain. The last insanity being used up. The boys trying to get in on Ying Yang as well, and I think he might be able to escape this time. No. Oh, alright. Yes, finally he will be able to escape it this time as well.
Man, I kid you not. The attempt to actually get the Claude, well done, but that's not gonna actually help you if you were losing three people in the process. And not gonna lie, even Nathan just lost the tier one in the bot lane, and right now it's level 7 versus level 8. That means Xborg might just lose the retribution battle, and also team that has the tower advantage
Oh,
is Team the Boys. But in the top lane,
oh my goodness me, the Guardian of Avatar. A beautifully well placed, and there we go. Balinar will be going down in here as well. Stain looking like he's gonna go down. He's finally a shutdown coming in from Kimochi. Oh my goodness me. Not a bad play coming in here from the boys over here.
but then again, look at that. Claude is getting in on some action in the bot lane. Blazing Duet almost taking down the Nathan again, but Nathan is right now ready to engage, and Claude has to run back without, getting punished for that engage onto the Nathan. However,
Mhm.
dude, I kid you not, Claude doing a ton of damage in every single team fight, but also against that Nathan, he's asserting dominance.
Exactly. And I just need to, uh, sp- uh, point out the fact that he doesn't even have Demon Hunter Sword yet, which is his main item to deal damage with, and he doesn't even have it yet, and he's dealing that much amount of damage. That is absurd. That's really, really absurd as well.
Right now, I'm sitting here and copying the Claude's build Assassin Emblem with Swift, but then again, Sicilian's Flicker has been forced out. Sebastian,
Ling here, you know what? I think the Ling he picked here was the perfect pick for the junglers for Inco, and he is able to dish out as much damage as he can. 2 words. That's a Sicilian, but look at that. Claude is finally taken off. Balinar going in. What a beautiful play coming in, and I think this is not going to look good because Yushin is kind of saving their butts as well. Say not being able to get that last insanity to get the kill in. But I think this is going to work out because Kimochi, the flicker has been saved, and look at Ling. He's still not trying to get away from that. He does not have his Tempesto blades in as well. And I think this was a pretty close call coming in for the boys, almost wiping each other out at the same time as well. Ooh.
well, to be fair, dude, it's right now it's equal in terms of tower, but right now Ling just took the mid tower out of their hands. I'm not gonna lie, with the Zushin, with the Clock of Destiny and Sky Piercer, but look at that.
Oh no! Oh no, I think this is not gonna look good. Oh my goodness me! What a play from that Claude! Moon here outshining the sun. I have to say, my goodness me! Woo! That was a very, very intense moment, and Moon got out of that situation like warming up butter for his bread and just scooping it all over his food, which was in fact laying over there in the bot lane as well.
Man, oh man, I kid you not. Look at the turtle fight that's gonna happen right now. I'm excited because Zushin has the Sky Piercer and the Clock of Destiny, and I kid you not, she's doing a ton of damage and a lot of value for her team. However, in the top lane, it's gonna be another Blazing Duet used to clear the lane. Wait, why was that Blazing Duet even used? The lane is still not pushed, and the team fight is happening in the turtle fight.
But I think it's not going to be looking good. Stain here trying to focus more on the turtle, and I think he will be getting that. No! Kaizo steals it from Stain as well, and look at the thing. They're both in the mid lane and in the bot lane. The fight is happening lane with that quicksand guard. Is finally able to get away, but I think Balinar will be taken out by Kimochi. The Guardian of Avatar, so well placed onto the bot lane as well, and there we go, the boys on a wipeout streak. But I think that was a really, really dangerous but almost a good play coming in for the boys, and that did not really work out in their favor because they were kind of dispersed in there a little bit, and Team Inco had the perfect lineup to balance that out as well.
No, dude, can you see Moon? He's going across the moon. He's flying over the moon right now. He's in a tough spot, and he will. Oh, look at that.
Oh!
He gets. Oh my god.
That was so close!
Dude,
Moon, that was so close!
he's on fire, dude. He's on fire.
Man, oh, there we go. In Kaizo again, going in, but I don't think he has his first kill to get away from it this time, but he gets that Sicilian once again. Oh my goodness me, Balinar coming in to the kind of. Oh my goodness me. There is so much play happening here. And it is so wonderful to see plays like this. I think this is the reason why I started casting as well. Crucifix.
100%. 100%. With Claude having the Trinity built up, I think he should actually prioritize the Rose Gold Meteor. However, let's just go to the kill section right now. It's 15-9 in within the first 10 minutes of the game, and the gold gap is just around 3,000 to the side of Team Inko. I'm not gonna lie, Inko is actually performing really good. However, they're lacking in coordination in good team fights because, well, as I see 2-3 people working together in some areas, it's not all together. And I think if at all they actually go all in together, they will lose because, to be honest, the boys have a good lineup for a 5-on-5 fight. As they start the
I
tournament,
agree.
as they start
And
the tournament,
oh my goodness me,
get ready.
oh, there we go. The glorious pathway has been used up. Kimochi and Yin Yang trying to get into the fight as well, but I think this is a really beautiful play coming in. Retribution not needing because Balinar has taken it out. A beautiful blazing duet coming in from Moon as well, and there we go. I think Yin Yang will be able to get this. Oh my goodness me, I think he's going to be taken out. There we go, guys. So it's finally taken out as well. Lan not looking good here. He does not have his quick turn guard yet, and is not going to be able to heal up on time for that fight. And that was not a good play here. Balinar catches him off guard and moves to finish it up as well. This is a 3v2 situation over here, and I think this is not looking good. And there we go. The glorious pathway once again. But I think the minions here, that wave, that gold wave coming in for the inhibitor turrets kind of saved Inko from a quick ending over here.
Oh man, I think they lost all their tier 2s, and now they're going for tier 3s. And with Moon on that Claude, dude, he is like a thief. Lore accurate Claude gameplay right there, because Claude and Dexter doing a ton of damage in every team fight, even in terms of pushing AOG though. Look at that. Dude, it's starting.
Oh my goodness me. The golden, the Guardian of Avatar being used up. There we go. Being taken out once again. Kid Patunu is Kaizo. There we go. And look at that. Kimochi so close to being taken out, but he does have his ultimate skill to get him away from the group fight as well. And I think Moon, this is a good opportunity to take him down. But, no flicker is being used up as well. But Balinar, Zashiro, and Moon will be able to get away from that. Woo, this is so intense, Crucifix.
Dude, but something that was really intense was Moon using that Wind of Nature for absolutely no reason. I don't know why he used it, but holy crap, why? And he was trying to escape in the bot lane, but damn, bro, why did you use it? You're fighting against a mage, dude. Not something that you want to do.
I think maybe he was kind of hoping for a link to pop up suddenly, but there we go, I mean, honestly, in the game of Marco Polo over here, I have to say it's better to be safe than sorry. So I think he used it up in order to be safe.
True. Ling is a dominant force throughout this game. Kaizo is doing really good. And look at that ultimate from the Lucas! Holy crap! Sniping him across the map. He's doing Leslie's job better than her. Holy.
Dang! Oh, there we go. The Sheesh coming in. The emotes as well. We were just about to say Sheesh though. He read our mind to the game, and there we go. The glorious pathway has been used up. And oh my goodness me, it is not looking good. Yin Yang kind of going in, but I don't think he has the amount of damage that's required to get rid of Balinar over here. And there we go. Look at the sustain on Balinar. Lucas, the new hero, is a nightmare to deal with. And it's proven once again and again, repeating it over and over again, Crucifix.
His Soka just casually stealing Ling's buff right under his nose, not letting Ling come near the Lord. Holy crap. This is tough. This is tough for the side of Team Inko, dude. They were playing so good. Oh, look at that. Claude is looking in for an engage. He's not going in, though. Battle mirror image to the rescue. Escapes in the nick of time. Just goes back casually to farming as the Lord is about to spawn. And this is Luminous Lord, Lord number two. It's going to be a very, very dangerous team fight that's coming up, Sebastian, as everyone literally has all of their core items and the Lord is marching through the mid lane. We see that Team the Boys have the advantage in terms of farm and also in terms of numbers because, to be honest, Ling is looking in for a split push and he does not have the blue buff. He is literally right now a very, very big liability. However, if he can pull off a kill on the Sicilian, that's literally all it would take.
There we go. The Winter Crown ready for Kid Petuno as well to be used up. Oh my goodness me! The last insanity on Sane! And there we go! What a beautiful ultimate getting rid of the HPs that is needed for this fight. And there we go. Kaizo he's been taken down as well. Oh my goodness me, what a fight over here. Kaizo being taken down, Kimochi in trouble, but I think Sane is looking to fight more to get that skirt over there, and the base is in trouble. And I think this is an end for Inco. Oh my goodness me, what a play from the boys. And there we go, they've proven it once again. Why the late game is theirs to dominate, just as they have done in the previous matches. They have done it once again, especially on a really, really dangerous hero. Dangerous lineup like Inco. Oh my goodness me. Woo!
Dude, I kid you not. The immortality on the Claude let him just go die without thinking twice, and that Zushin didn't really think that he would come back to life and do enough damage to take down the Nexus, but holy crap, bro just came back. He's like, I'm immortal. I can do Argus's job better. No, you can't. No, Claude, you can't. Moon, you can't. I'm an Argus simp, you cannot. Again,
You
he
know,
came back to life and he literally took down the tower.
I think this is the most, this is why I love MOBA 5v5. It's a reason.
100%.
It's squads like this that play that make me love the game. Even though I don't have much of a squad myself, but oh my goodness me, what a play from both the teams! Don't you think so?
No, dude, 100%. I love the way that Zushin was picked and was completely obliterated. However, that Zushin pick was good for their team. However, the execution fell a little bit short. The boys had the
Mm-hmm.
execution advantage and they had the upper hand in most team fights. Even though Inko dominated throughout the mid and early game, they completely turned it around. This is why the boys are very dangerous. They're lunatics. They're crazy. They just go insane, like insanity coming in from that export. Blast insanity from Sane.
Exactly.
Holy crap, dude. That's like lore accurate stuff right there, my friend.
I agree. And Moon, I have to point you out again. Congratulations to that 91% turret damage, 28,596 HP of turret being taken out, and that is why objectives are more important than kills, and that is exactly what the boys have shown tonight. But there can only be one winner, which is really sad, don't you think so?
Dude, both teams deserve to be winners. However,
I
right
agree.
now, it's only going to be the boys who go on. I think that's very sexist, but it's okay because they won and they deserved it. I'm not going to be that person that actually says, they deserve it and all, but they did perform really good, especially Moon. Dude, that guy was thinking two steps ahead. Holy crap.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree. It's the fact that he used the immortality, immune again. Just have to point that out. That was really, really good. I wouldn't think that far, honestly.
Man,
But
but I
there we go,
love the
ladies and
match.
gentlemen.
I love the energy, and I bet all of our viewers did too.
I agree. This was so freaking intense. I can feel it from all the way on my home. You know.
Man, I bet, dude. I bet.
So, ladies and gentlemen, sadly, we will be going on a short break. So, you guys just hold on. Just wait for us until the next team is getting ready as well. So, thank you all for viewing this match.
And I believe we
I
are
don't.
finally back with the next match in the Crown Championship 2024. We are already in the top 20, and right now it is the neck to neck battle between Team Zeppelin RS on the blue side, and on the red side, we definitely have Team 911. And I'm your caster, Shin Ryu, and joining alongside me is none other than Seb. How's it going, man?
Yo, yo, what's up? I have really high hopes for this match as well to be as interesting as the one which was just played just before this. It was so intense. I loved every single moment of it. And even though it just maybe it would not be as interesting, I promise to love it as much as I did for the next as well. So yeah, oh, there we go. We're seeing a Fanny band being picked out right here for the side of Zeppelin, which is understandable, isn't it, Shinru?
Definitely. You do want to protect the backline a lot more in the current meta. And talking about the backline, that's the backline mage getting banned pretty up quickly. So, I mean, that's understandable. The Zushin is one of those nasty mages which can just disrupt the flow of the game continuously, poking as well as, taunting the enemy, not letting them near you. I would say I
I
wouldn't like
agree.
playing against that.
And it's not just the fact that she can just distance herself. It's the fact that she can put you anywhere she wants after a certain amount of time that you damage people. That is something I don't really like to go against, especially someone is a Cho main like me. I hate that. It's like, no, stand where you're supposed to stand. Place yourself where you're supposed to place. Don't place me otherwhere, like elsewhere. But there we go. We're looking at a Granger ban being finally banned out. I think maybe it's kind of a situational ban right now because Granger is so really, really, the on the killing side, Granger is really, really good.
I mean, honestly, Grandeur, Harith, and Erythrol are the top three picks currently in the gold lane. And, there is the S tier, then they are there, right there, stacked up, because no other heroes can come near them. Like they are so. I mean, outskill. Like I mean, I would like to say that like people can outskill you with those heroes. Like no, it's
Oh,
not even like they're
totally.
OP. They're like people can just outskill you like completely, obliterate.
And
Like go on.
and like the thing about Granger is if you're accurate, there we go. That there's a that the match is like determined on how accurate you are, and if you're really accurate with Granger, you don't really want to take chances about going against opponents like that. So I would say this is a pretty good ban, don't you think so?
Definitely, it does open up a lot of tanky heroes for the EXP lane. Like the CC is one of those heroes which can just nullify those tank heroes. The frontliner do not stand a chance, and I would say banning
Yeah.
out a CC as well as the Grandeur and Harith does open up a lot of other heroes which are pretty strong in the meta. And I was talking about Lucas, one of them, and it seems the side of Team 911 will be banning that out. So, what are your thoughts so far?
Lucas, he has to be banned, man. There's no other way to stop him unless like there's a full 5 man against him, and even in a full 5 man against him alone, that's like 5 ants against a literal ant eater.
Mhm.
That's the only best way to explain it. I don't understand anymore.
Definitely, the hero just like takes up too much resources, and in this kind of tournament, you do not want to be expending all those things on a single target because that's a lot of value to just single hero. And talking about a lot of value, there is the high loss being picked from the side of Team Zeppelin, definitely giving them the extra bit of mobility with the red carpet, like I meant to mention. So, you know,
I think
things
that
like
defines it the perfect.
definitely. And I feel like, the high loss is a pretty staple pick because it can be flexed pretty easily. Like it can be in the EXP lane, it can be in the roaming position as well, depending on the team how they like to draft.
Mhm.
I would say right now the best answer to that high loss would be a Khalid just to match up the rotation as well as the team fight participation that the heroes can actually give the value, the worth in the team fight. It's a lot more.
Exactly. I agree with you right there. Oh my goodness me, Sicilian and Claude are being shown to be picked out here. There we go, the anti-tank hero, which is Claude with that Holy Trinity build. So, High Loss is going to be in a bit of a situation, I have to say, if he's not really careful over here. And there we go, 911, really, really strong picks coming in with Purify, of course. Purify has to be picked out because even if you can counter high loss, there's like there's a certain chance that he can, just kill you, and the chances of that are never zero. So it's low,
I
but never
definitely,
zero.
definitely, I have to agree with you on that and talk about a dive composed hero. Like the dive is looking really, really scary from the side of Team Zeppelin. They did pick up that Shuyo for their jungle, and there might be a Vexana being picked soon, and I would say that is a really, really strong mid lane combo they already have secured for their side. It's looking really strong so far.
The mid lane is going to be one hell of a match to look at because they have really really strong picks. But then again, Vixana with that Eternal Guard, it's kind of like a 6 versus 5, and it even though it's a little slow, it is a very very heavy hitting clone that the MOBA 5v5 has put out in the game as well. So that's something that I think maybe they should really look out for. 911 will have to counteract with a hero that can easily capture the backline, maybe like a Ling or maybe like a Hayabusa because he's not really banned out here right now. But maybe I think a roamer would be really good. Maybe someone like Matilda with the topping off with that purify and getting them away from the group fight that is needed. But oh my goodness me, an alpha is being locked out. Oh no, I this guy has
Honest,
played a fool on me and broke my ankles and immediately picked out a joy.
I was about to mention that we are missing out that joy. That was a cheeky pick coming from the side of Team 911, and I would say that is a really good, hero to have in the middle. And currently, the joy is doing really
Mhm.
well, standing toe to toe against that Shuyo in the at least in the jungle section with a lot of fast clearing as
I
well as a
agree.
lot of presence on the back line. And I would say that's a very good pick to have. But to top it off, they really need a good engage. The frontliner needs to be absolutely solid. And talk about the marksman right now. They are banning it out, thinning it out for that claw just to have a safer lane, I would say.
And Irithel being banned out, I think this is really decent because she has been outshining so many heroes, even Granger, which is I find really really weird. But then again, the amount of movement speed you have with Irithel, it just depends on how much the damage depends on how much mobility you've got. And if you've got the mobility, you don't need much of the skills. It's just basic attack. It's just that the basic attack is doing all the work. I I, I don't understand. Oh, Tigreal's been banned out, which is weird. My goodness me.
I was talking about, they need a good frontliner or a person who can engage those fights, and Tigreal was one of those heroes which
Uh-huh.
can do that pretty well. So I think they are playing for their cards really well. The side of Team Zeppelin are, drafting pretty good so far. I would say, like, I'll give the props to them for drafting well and,
Yeah.
anticipating the draft that can be picked from the side of Team 911 so far.
I wonder if Zeppelin has been planning this out all along, the Hylos pick, because it was a really quick pick, don't you think so? Even the Vixana, it wasn't like much of a hesitation to pick out that right there. And even the Suyu immediately swiped out as well. And there we go, Hilda is being banned out with the buff that she has. And immense uh, firepower that she's got is something maybe equivalent to probably 4 Thomases. I'm not sure, but the amount of damage that she's got is out of this world, top notch. And picking her out because she eats grass, the grass eater, the vegetarian of the game. I have to say, sorry, I don't mean any bad intentions when I say vegetarian, but she goes into the grass, she heals, and she comes back out. It's like we eat our greens and we stay healthy, and Hilda is a good interpretation of that.
I mean, she might be eating the greens inside the grasses, but when she's out of the jungle, she's just eating those heroes alive with her firepower, like you
Yeah,
mentioned. So,
yeah.
she's the omnivore, like we know. But right now, talking about the bans, there is the Gutted Kasha getting banned from the side of Team Zeppelin, and I would say that is a really good hero to ban out just to protect their backline up furthermore, considering they already have a joy that Kacha could have been that set maker for the side of Team 911, and I would say this does
Hmm.
thin out a lot of heroes for their side, but they do have some decent heroes still open. And I wonder, like, what will their hero or the go-to hero would be because they can pick the Khalid so far. It is still open, but it does depend how they want to play the draft, how they want to play their cards. So let's see what is coming
Exactly.
our way.
I would like to see Vincetar being picked out by Zeppelin, which may be the kind of situation they might need because he's going to be able to pick out that lead and get rid of Joy from the group fight as well. But I have to say, hats off to you, man. Your interpretation skills are awesome. They just picked Khalid just as you've said. You mentioned they're going to pick Khalid. Oh my goodness me! Are we seeing a high loss in the EXP lane?
I
And
mean,
we're going to see what the heck? Ooh.
there comes the flex potential that I was talking about. The Hylos is a really good flex heroes to have,
Yeah.
and that's where the draft magic comes through. And I would say even the Khalid is a flex pick. It can be used in the jungle. I mean, not a jungle, the roaming position as well as the EXP. So that
Mhm.
does give them the chance to just change things a little bit, because right now you can see they have picked Nathan in the goal lane, and that's a lot of damage for the late game. And I would say both the teams are looking pretty solid, at least in the goal lane. It's not a very early goal laner for both the side. They do need those items to get uh, locked in for their heroes. Until that point, they really need to protect their marksmen. And I would say right now the side of Team 911 needs a really good frontliner apart from the Khalid to match that intensity that the Hylos as well as the chip can provide. And look at that, the direct counter to
Ooh.
chip coming through right now.
Oh my goodness me, this is not going the way I expected it to go with that Carmilla pick right there. And I just have to say shout out to Murasaki. He has said Hilda, no, but it's Hilcow.
Jeez. I
Oh
mean,
my
talk
goodness.
about the side of Team Zeppelin. They want to play the Avenger Assemble with the chip, and the side of Team 911 say, no, we are gonna blast down your Twin Towers with our Carmilla. And man, oh man,
Oh
this
no.
looking. It's looking really spicy from both the sides. I would say the drafts are really, really strong from both
Exactly.
sides, and they have covered their ground really well. And if you had to pick one side, which one would it be, Seb?
Ooh, that is really tough because the executions from Team Zeppelin could really play it out safe here, and it could kind of topple the 911 team, the composition off. But I have to say they really do love their junglers, which is really nice to see over here. Oh, they're starting out with the Team 911 are starting out with trying to get their gold laner as fast as possible, while Team Zeppelin are trying to go down maybe to the EXP lane, or he's just trying to get that purple buff quick because of his cooldown. Which they once again let us remind the people that a new update on Fury is that they increased his skill by 1.5 seconds if I'm not mistaken, or maybe 1 second.
Mm-hmm. Talk about the fight. It's already looking pretty
Oh
starting
my
up
goodness
right
me.
now. In the river section, look at that Vexana getting chunked so low, but I think she will be able to survive. She still has the flicker, but it
Oh
looks like the
no.
Joy is saying no, but the flicker does
Ooh.
save that Vexana from the harm's way, and there's a lot of aggression coming already right now from the side of Team 911. Look at that mid lane though.
Gosh darn, Phantom, that was hats off to you. He literally stopped Joy from dashing in and getting that kill.
Ooh.
Oh my goodness me! Tsuyu, just as I said, goes down to the EXP lane and gets rid of Khalid, which is their core, maybe their core frontliner, if not the um. Maybe the Joy would go in and Carmilla as well. Carmilla looks like she's in trouble here.
Oh, but it seems like the Revitalize will be saving her right now. It's pretty tight from both the side, but it was looking more to the side of Team 911. They were starting off more aggressive, but the first kill did go to the side of Team Zeppelin, which is kind of surprising. The Shuya really did make that impact from the early minute of the game, but right now look at the turtle area, because the chip is getting chunked low, forced to flicker out, and that does give them a prior to the side of Team 911 for the turtle.
That was a very, very close call for Team Zeppelin. Otherwise, they would have been on a equalizer over here. But I have to say that's a really good move. Look at Ido. He's really stacking up on Sicilian right now, and that is something they need to not really try to get into the late game, because Sicilian in the end, as we've seen in the boys versus Inco. Oh, what?
God damn, but right now you can see Chip is already level 4. Might use the shortcut, and there goes the shortcut, and the Khalid is not looking at a good spot, but the Eternal Guard will get knocked on the 2 men, and look at that, the chip just get bursted down with the Curse of Blood connecting onto 3 members, and it looks like the side of team 911 will be forced to go back because the turtle prio is to the side of team Zeppelin. They have the members online, but look at the look at the Joy right now trying to steal the turtle away, but it's not to any avail because she will just get bursted down from the damage of team Zeppelin.
Dang, this ZSAT over here is really, really good with that sleeve, and I think just as I've mentioned it before, I think they've definitely been planning out and practicing a lot with this lineup here as well.
Certainly, it's looked like the side of Team Zeppelin are really playing the map well, and they are, prioritizing that chip shortcut to win those team fights as well as contain those lanes. That right now you can see the chip really providing that vision for the side of Team Zeppelin.
I'd like to say the goal difference is kind of significant for an early game. Like it's just 4 minutes in, and they're already above by almost 2k here, and that is not looking good.
Oh, look at the Carmilla being chunked so low. The side of Team Zeppelin are not stopping with their aggressive maneuvers, and it seems like they want to gang the goal lane once again, shutting down the Claude before he comes online. Right now, 4 members are slowly making their way. Do you think a gank might take place there?
It's looking like Phantom is trying to get in and erase that Claude as fast as possible, but I think there's going to be a group fight happening over here.
Oh, it looks like the not the CC, I'm sorry. The Joy is at a bad spot, but the Carmilla is just 10% HP. The side of Team Zeppelin are going aggressive. Look at that. really going and struggling, and the Eternal Guard will be the death. But no, the kill will go to the Nathan right now. As you can see, he will also get punished really quick. But it seems like the fight does not stop there because the next to fall would be the Khalid, just getting deleted to his death. And right now the Celion also next on the chopping block, and that does give the top turret to the side of Team Zeppelin, and they might get the turtle as well here, Seb.
My goodness me, did you see that? Phantom was going in and forcing that Claw to use his teleportation, and Dead Bomb over here immediately brought down the wrath of the Internal Guard right at his doorstep.
But it seems like they do not want to stop. Look at the aggressive nature from the side of Team Zeppelin, and I'm just mentioning they're aggressive because they are freaking aggressive, not stopping anytime soon. They already have 7 kills and 4k, almost 3.5k goal lead towards their side, and right now they are eyeing for stealing the jungles away, and I think that is a really good thing to do when you want to secure that early game victory for your side.
I agree with you over there. The turtle has been secured out. That was kind of an easy turtle for the Team Zeppelin, which I find it pretty advantageous. Yeah, that's the word over here. But looking at the setup here, Zeppelin definitely has a lot more gold and a hell of a lot more items over here. So that is the true definition of advantage coming in.
Certainly, but however, it seems like the side of Team 911 has been taken a step back because they were aggressive in the early mid. But right now, look at the damage from Max. He's already doing the max damage, but Khalid going in with the damage. But it seems like the flicker will save that Nathan from harm's way. But Khalid is not at a good spot. The team is collapsing onto him from the side of Team Zeppelin. They do not want to stop, but the High Loss will be not so lucky to survive, and they do get a turret on the bot lane, but right now the Curse of Blood won't be connecting onto the Shui, I was gonna say, but he does fall anyway. But another person to fall would be, oh my goodness, people are falling every way, Save. I cannot even keep count right now.
Oh, look at Muhammad. He just went into the portal here thinking he would be safe, but he is kind of safe. And Joy trying to seem like he's trying to get that Phantom out, but the dashes are immediately shut down. Oh my goodness me.
Oh my god, Max is again just obliterating everyone, and right now see the next to fall would be the Joy. Don't know why am I mistaking Joy for CC today. But yeah, back to the topic. On the mid lane, you can see the side of Team Zeppelin are going really aggressive. They're trying to eye that mid lane turret, which might fall anytime soon, but they do not have the minions yet. But does it matter? No, because they will get it anyway, and they might also get a blue buff away from the side of Team 911. The Khalid is forced to use his ultimate. He won't have that anytime soon, but the last turtle of the game has already spawned, and it seems like the side of Team Zeppelin do not want to take it and just want to directly go for the Lord.
Oh my! I just saw Phantom from like literally a quarter of the last bar that he had of HP immediately go back to the like literally 50% or even more. Oh my goodness, there again, look at that. He does not need to recall at all. I think that's what I really love about Chip, but then again, that could be his downfall because it does not regenerate mana.
Certainly, but all he doesn't need to do is use the portal just to move around the map, and he can just take part in any fight he wants. But right now it seems like the first lot of the game will go uncontested to the side of Team Zeppelin, giving them the prio to take down more turrets. But right now the Chip is trying to get a stun onto the Khalid, but he will be safe. But I don't think so. The Matilda, the Carmilla would be so safe, because right now you can see the Hylos already using the glorious pathway, and 3 members already collapsing, make it 4, and there comes a fight, but a big team fight happening. But it's only to the side of Team Zeppelin who's getting the most advantage, because a double kill was secured by the Shuyo just before the Lord is marching on the bot lane, and it seems like they might get most advantage from this just level 1 Lord Seb.
Bro, man, what the heck is this? Carmilla being picked out as the counter immediately shuts him off. He can't even, he can't even get in close to even use his cursed link over here, because their high loss Cage over here, along with Cizat, is immediately shutting him down even before he's able to use it as well.
Certainly, the bot lane as well as the mid lane gold shield. I mean, the turret defense will go down, and that does affect the game. I mean, the minion push a lot, because they won't have that, extra bit of defense that they need to defend their turrets. And it seems like the side of Team Zeppelin, they do not want to stop, because they are eyeing all the second tier turret, as the last one will fall from the top lane, and I think they might get another defense off from the top lane turret as well, and there it goes there.
They have almost a 7,000 gold difference in 10 minutes, and that is a very, very huge gap over here for 10 minutes. And it's even for 200 or 300 gold difference, like just 1 gold or even 10 gold in late game or even the mid game is what really matters over here. And it depends. If you don't have the equipment to even gather, oh my goodness me, look at that bomb. He's definitely in the wrong position there.
Certainly, he was a bit too overzealous, I would say, but the flicker does get used. But it seems like the Vexana will still survive, because the Hylos is there to just cut down the rotation. But right now the Chip with the shortcut, as well as the Carmilla with the cursed blood, it seems like one member will be falling from both the side, and there comes the Vexana back to the map with the help of the shortcut. But the fight is already over, because the next Lord will be spawning soon, and I feel like the side of Team Zeppelin do not want to throw the advantage away. Like you mentioned, though, that goal lead is really significant to, make or break the game.
And I have to say, they're really good in getting the objectives in. And oh my goodness me, Claude almost taken out over there in the mid lane, which is going to be crucial there. Claude is going to be the one carrying most of the game right now. If Carmilla and Khalid are not able to sustain that damage for him, it's not really going to work out for the Team 911. They are kind of fumbling up with the rotations here a little bit, because Carmilla does not have the amount of mobility that this Chip has, and even high loss with the glorious pathway that adds up so much of movement speed. You hardly even have the ability to react on time as well.
Certainly, it not only just makes you okay. Wait a minute, the top lane, the shortcut's already used, but it seems like the Joy is not at a good spot, because he will just get bursted down by the max damage. And right now the fight is still getting prolonged, because it seems like it is just going in the favor of Team Zeppelin, because that will be 3 members falling right before the Lord. And I really like the fact the side of Team Zeppelin just waited a bit longer, so they get that enhanced lot. So right now, it does might pay them off a extra bit.
That is, oh my goodness me, the damage, look at damage. Look at the damage on Max over here, and I think they're able to end this early on, but I think Joy will be coming back soon, and that's not looking good because the Lord is being slain over here, and this is the Glowing Lord. Once again, a level 2. This is not going to be looking good because they only have one turret left now, I think. Oh, finally, it's standing back up in here, and I think
Oh my goodness, this is not
barely.
looking good. It's just going from bad to worse for the side of Team 911. I was thinking that they might be able to take the Twin Towers down, but it seems like their plane is just gonna crash before it reaches there because the side of Team Zeppelin are just forcing their way in the base. Crystal right now, they are not able to sustain the damage as the members are just getting taken down so low, but the Curse of Blood does connect on to 5 members, and look at that clapback coming from the side of Team 911, and members are just falling for the side. I mean, both the sides are trying their best, but it seems like the damage is just
Ooh.
a bit too much, and it might be just enough to end the game for the side of Team Zeppelin, and the 911's plane just crashed before it reaches the Twin Towers here, Seb.
My goodness me, what a beautiful, beautiful play from the Nathan over here. He is definitely the one who's been holding up. He had the gold, he had the items, and he knew exactly who to mark. And that is the reason why 911 has lost the match. The roaming, the sustainability coming in from high loss, and that glorious pathway, along with the revitalize. That is, he can't be killed. That's basically like a fountain play all over again.
Certainly, I would say, the fact that they picked that hero is so vital. The high loss, giving them the extra bit of mobility as well as the slowdown that they
Mhm.
needed to just get the extra bit of advantage in those team fights really paid off. And as well as the cherry on top would be that chip with the portal just to stop everybody's maneuver. When they want to run away, they won't be able because the stun will come through. And talk about Max, that man just took maximum benefit of his hero just deleting everybody with his damage.
And looking at the turret push, I have to say this. I think, oh my goodness me, Claude has been the only one doing the turret damage as well. So there's not much of a push, even though the group fights were necessary. The objectives are important as well, and that is definitely why Team 911 have lost. And it is sad to say goodbye to them, but hats off, practice more, and we will see you on the next as well. So congratulations to Zeppelin too for making it to the next round as well.
Certainly, they did play their best, but it was just not enough. But again, congratulations to both the teams. You are a winner in my eyes. But tonight, it seems
Mhm.
like in the Crown Championship 2024, the side of Team Zeppelin will be moving to the next round. Congratulations to them. And yeah, we might be back real soon with the next match, I believe. You're right, Seb?
Yes, exactly. So guys, stay tuned. Like the stream, share it as usual because this is not. This is a family-friendly stream as well, so even your family members can watch.
Hopefully it is. But yeah, enough of the jokes. So we'll be back real soon. So don't go anywhere. And if you want to just go anywhere, it should be just to restack your popcorns because you might not have to pay the GST at home. So yeah, you're safe there. So anyway, we'll be back soon, guys. So see ya. game. And guess what? I have a surprise for you guys because हम लोग हिंदी में कास्ट करेंगे ऑफ कोर्स। तो क्राउन चैंपियनशिप बीच 25 पे वापस स्वागत है आपका। आई एम सॉरी माय हिंदी इज नॉट सो गुड बट आई एम ट्राइंग माय बेस्ट। तो अभी हमारे आगे उपस्थित है IWT टीम मिनट टू मिनट एंड उनके विपक्ष पे है टीम गीगा डैड्स। तो मैं आपका होस्ट और दोस्त शिनरियो और मेरे साथ खूबसूरत और एक ही बिनी क्यूटी से हाय बिनी।
Hi everyone. Hello. Arusa.
तो दैट वाज अ वेरी गुड हाय।
Namaste. Namaste.
यही एनर्जी हमें बरकरार रखना है इस फाइनल गेम के लिए बिकॉज ये आखिरी गेम होगा रात का। एंड बिनी देखिए कितना जल्दी बैन आ रहा है दोनों ही टीम की तरफ से। हेलकट जो बहुत ही रेयर बैन है वो आया है टीम IWT की तरफ से एंड मथिल्डा टीम गीगा डैट्स की तरफ से। आपका क्या ख्याल है इस बैन्स के बारे में?
मेरे ख्याल से बैन तो अच्छा ही लग रहा है दोनों की टीम से बट लेट्स सी कि आगे क्या बैन करता है पूरा।
बिल्कुल सही। अभी दिक्कत ये है कि बहुत सारे मेटा हीरोज खुले रहेंगे अगर ऐसा बैन आएंगे तो शायद से दोनों ही टीम उसका थोड़ा फायदा उठा सकते हैं। आपको लगता है कि मेटा हीरोज पिक होंगे इस गेम पे कि थोड़ा फनी पिक्स होने वाले इस गेम पे?
मे बी मेटा फिक्स लोग तो नहीं होंगे बट हाँ वो लोग बैन पे चले जाएंगे। आई डोंट थिंक सो। I'm really sorry मेरा हिंदी एंड इंग्लिश मिक्स अप होते रहता है। I'm really sorry guys. माफ
कोई
कर दो।
दिक्कत नहीं, कोई दिक्कत नहीं। हमें शुद्ध हिंदी में करने की कोई ज़रूरत नहीं। हम लोग इंग्लिश वर्ड्स ऑफ कोर्स यूज़ कर सकते हैं
हाँ हाँ हाँ
बिकॉज़
ठीक है।
ये हमारी मर्ज़ी है। हम कास्टर्स हैं, हम अपना रूल्स खुद बनाते हैं। मैं
या
मज़ाक कर रहा हूँ गाइस।
हाँ हाँ
तो
तो
चलिए इसी के
हम्म,
चलते बिनी अभी आखिरी बैन टीम IWT की तरफ से आएंगे जो ब्लू साइड पे है। तो देखिए वहां पे सिसिलियन बैन होते हुए। तो बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग बैन्स हो रहे
आई
हैं या
डब्ल्यू
नहीं?
आई डब्ल्यू
IWT
आई
IWT
डब्ल्यू टी एंड ये और दूसरे साइड पे है
दूसरे साइड पे है, रेड साइड पे है टीम गीगा डैड्स।
गीगा टेट्स आई डब्ल्यू टी एंड गीगा टेट्स। ओके
जी बिल्कुल।
सो
तो
हाँ
बताइए।
गीगा गीगा बैन करने जा रहे हैं। गीगा इज इट
हम्म,
गीगा स्पेयर
गीगा डैड्स।
गीगा एट्स ओ गीगा एट्स
डैड्स डैड्स
टेट्स ओ
पापा,
गीगा टेट्स
गीगा पापा, उनके
गीगा
पापा। ठीक है जी।
ओके ठीक
तो
है
अभी
देखते
शायद
हैं। हम्म
जी अभी आखिरी बैन आते हुए और यहाँ पे सिसिलियन
ओ
उनके लवर को बैन करते हुए टीम गीगा डैड्स उनको पसंद नहीं आया कि एक ही जन बस बैन होंगे तो वो लोग उनके लवर को भी बैन कर
हाँ
देंगे। तो
दूसरे को
यहाँ
ही
पे
बैन कर दिया।
जी बिल्कुल और यहाँ पे टीम IW का फर्स्ट पिक है। तो क्या लगता है फर्स्ट पिक क्या हो सकता है यहाँ पे?
मे बी मेरे ख्याल से तो लग रहा है कि ये लूकास पिक कर सकता है क्योंकि लूकास अभी बहुत चल रहा है। सो मुझे लग ही रहा है लूकास। देखते हैं क्या पिक करता है आईडब्ल्यू टीम के। ओ ग्रेंजर पिक कर लिया है। ग्रेंजर नाइस पिक। हाँ
जी बिल्कुल। अभी करंट जो मेटा है वहाँ पे ग्रैंजर, हैरिथ और इरथल ये 3 बहुत ही स्ट्रॉन्ग पिक्स है गोल्ड लेन पे। तो आई थिंक यहाँ पे बहुत ही समझदार पिक आते हुए टीम IWT की तरफ से। तो आई थिंक शायद टीम गीगा डैड्स यहाँ पे हैरिथ से आंसर कर सकते हैं अगर वो चाहे तो। एंड और भी बहुत सारे पिक्स ओपन है बताइए जैसे यहाँ पे हाइलोस ओपन है एंड मैं कहते ही कहते हाइलोस पिक हुआ। आप देख ही सकते हैं टीम गीगा डैड्स बिल्कुल भी मजाक नहीं कर रहे। वो एकदम ही सीरियस है अपने पिक्स के बारे में।
हम्म हाइलोस अच्छा पिक है और हाँ
जी
ओ
बिल्कुल और यहाँ पे लुई पिक होते हुए तो बहुत ही स्ट्रॉन्ग कॉम्बो है कि नहीं भी नहीं?
हाँ अच्छा कॉम्बो रहेगा दोनों का। तो आईडब्ल्यू टीम से पिक होने जा रहा है।
जी बिल्कुल।
क्या पिक कर सकते हैं ये लोग अभी?
अभी
हम्म
देखिए अभी यहाँ पे खलीद अभी भी ओपन है और
खलीद
बहुत ही खलीद ओपन है, गटुटकाचा ओपन है। तो अभी वो लोग शायद से EXP प्रायोरिटाइज कर सकते हैं या फिर ऐसा एक हीरो पिक कर सकते हैं जो वो लोग फ्लेक्स कर सकते हैं जैसे कि मैं हिल्डा बोलने वाला था बट यहाँ पे लगता है हाँ देखिए हिल्डा आते हुए। मुझे लगता है क्या पता भी नहीं, मुझे आज जाके लॉटरी काटना चाहिए। मेरे गेस बहुत अच्छे हो रहे हैं और यहाँ पे देखिए गरुड़ का अच्छा भी
हाँ
पिक होते हुए तो बहुत ही अच्छा पिक मैं कहूँगा दोनों ही टीम की
आह,
तरफ से।
हाँ मुझको तो लग रहा है कि दोनों के जो पिक्स है ना बहुत अच्छा है, तो इंटरेस्टिंग होगा बहुत
जी,
धमाका।
जी बिल्कुल धमाका एकदम खत्म नहीं होने वाला है बिकॉज़ यहाँ पे गोल्ड कैप ने इरेथल पिक कर लिया। जैसे मैंने कहा था आपको थोड़ी देर पहले जैसे हैरिथ, ग्रैंचर एंड इरेथल टॉप 3
हाँ
पिक्स हैं।
हाँ
अगर आप कोई भी हीरो पिक करेंगे तो गोल्ड एंड बहुत ही अच्छा सेट हो जाएगा आपके लिए एंड यहाँ पे जैसे टीम गीगा डैश मज़ाक नहीं करते हुए दे आर पिकिंग ऑल द स्ट्रॉन्ग हीरोज़। अरे! हिंदी में इंग्लिश कहाँ से आ गया? मुझे माफ़ कीजिए।
इट्स ओके,
तो
कोई नहीं कोई नहीं।
जी, बिल्कुल और यहाँ पे एक और हीरो बैन होते हुए बिकॉज़ हम लोग सेकंड बैनिंग फेज़ पे आ चुके हैं, तो बैन
हम्म।
हुआ यहाँ पे ईव, तो बहुत ही अच्छा मिड लेन बैन होते हुए, तो आपको क्या लगता है दूसरा बैन क्या हो सकता है टीम आईडब्ल्यूटी की तरफ से?
अम, मुझे तो लग ही रहा है, प्लीज गाइस मुझे माफ कर देना, मेरे दिमाग में लूकास ही आकर बैठ कर रहता है। मे बी लूकास, हाँ लूकास बेन हो गया।
बस मैं नहीं, आपको भी लॉटरी काटना चाहिए विनी बिकॉज़ यहाँ पे लूकास भी बैन हुआ होते हुए तो
हाँ।
देखिए, दोनों ही टीम ने अभी तक जंगलर पिक नहीं किया है। तो मुझे मेरे
हम्म,
ख़्याल से अभी अभी तभी वो लोग जंगलर बैन कर सकते हैं। यहाँ पे अगर जॉय बैन हुआ या फिर शुयो, तो बहुत ही अच्छा रहेगा टीम
ओह
गीगा डैड की तरफ से। बट यहाँ पे बहुत ही अलग किस्म का बैन और देख सकते हैं हम लोग वाईएसएस बैन होते हुए तो हम लोग ये हीरो को ज़्यादा बैन होते हुए नहीं देखते हैं ज़्यादातर टूर्नामेंट पे, है कि नहीं विनी?
हाँ
तो अभी आखिरी बैन टीम आईडब्ल्यूटी की तरफ से क्या हो सकता है? कोई
मे
कुछ
बी,
ख़्याल? हुँ।
हाँ मुझको लग रहा है कि ये लोग आई डब्ल्यू, ओह कर ही दिया। अल्फा नाइस चॉइस, अच्छा है। अल्फा को, आई मीन सॉरी, खलीद 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 खलीद।
मैं भी आपका टाँग खींचने वाला था पर ठीक है आपने सही बता दिया उसको तो
खलीद
देखिए
खलीद।
अल्फा तो नहीं पर खलीद ज़रूर बैन होते हुए तो ये बहुत सारे हीरोज़ को अभी तक ओपन करते हुए दोनों ही टीम जंगलर्स अभी भी पिक कर सकते हैं, उनके पास बहुत ही सारा ऑप्शंस है। अगर वो चाहे तो अभी भी टीम गिगाडैट्स एक जंगलर पिक कर सकते हैं, अल्फा ओपन है, बहुत ही टैंकी फ्रंट लाइनर है टीम आईडब्ल्यूटी की तरफ से एंड अल्फा अपने ट्रू डैमेज के यूज़ इस्तेमाल से अच्छा उपयोग कर सकते हैं। पता है ना बहुत ही जो टैंकी हीरोज़ होते हैं उनको बहुत आराम से मेल्ट कर सकते हैं अल्फा तो बहुत ही अच्छा पिक रह
हम्म।
सकता है।
अल्फा,
आपको क्या लगता है, क्या होगा पिक?
अल्फा नहीं तो वो ले ही लिया वो लोग तो, बैन लेते
आपको
हुए।
तो आपको थोड़ा जल्दी गेस करना पड़ेगा विनी क्योंकि आप
ओके।
अगर इतना आस्ते बोलेंगे तो ट्रेन निकल जाएगी पनवेल के लिए। तो
ठीक है।
देखते हैं अभी लास्ट तो पिक रहेगा टीम आईडब्ल्यूटी की तरफ से, तो
तो
यहाँ
मैं
पे आप गेस कर
बोलूंगा,
सकते हैं।
वेट।
चिल, चिल, बिल्कुल।
अब भी वो लोग पिक करेंगे अल्फा या फिर जॉय। मेरे ख्याल से अल्फा या फिर जॉय लेंगे।
अच्छा और उनका मिड लेन भी अभी तक पिक नहीं हुआ है, तो कौन-सा मेज आ सकता है?
अ, ओह
देखिए ट्रेन निकल जा रही है आपकी पनवेल के लिए
निकल गए
विनी।
ट्रेन, सॉरी सॉरी।
वही, वही पर
माफ
कोई
कर
बात
दे।
नहीं है, अभी लास्ट पिक बाकी है और यहाँ पे वो लोग हैरत दिखाते हुए शायद से इसको फ्लेक्स करेंगे उनके ग्रैंडयर पर नहीं।
हाउ।
ओके, ग्रैंडयर फ्लेक्स हुआ बट हैरत पिक नहीं हुआ तो क्लॉड अभी इस मैच पे डेब्यूट करते हुए तो बहुत ही स्ट्रॉन्ग लाइनअप है फ्रॉम टीम आईडब्ल्यूटी। क्या ख्याल है आपका उनका लाइनअप के बारे में?
मेरे ख्याल से तो दोनों की टीम्स तो अच्छे ही पिक करे हैं, बट देखते हैं क्या होता है गेम पे। इंटरेस्टिंग होने वाला है अब तो। हम्म।
जी, बिल्कुल। अभी आखिरी बैन मैं आपको दूँगा गेस करने के लिए, तो गेस कर लीजिए यहाँ पे।
EXP पिक नहीं हुआ तो ग्रोथ अनएक्सपेक्टेड है ये तो।
जी, बिल्कुल, पर क्या वो पिक होगा कि नहीं, ये हमारा सवाल था बट
हो
देखते ही
गया।
देखते टीम गिगा रैट्स ने हम लोगों को उसका उत्तर दे ही दिया। तो यहाँ पे ग्रॉक आखिरी पिक होते हुए टीम गीगाडैट्स की तरफ से। तो दोनों ही टीम यहाँ पे एकदम तैयार है इस मैच को आगे ले जाने के लिए। ड्राफ्ट एकदम कंप्लीट है दोनों की टीम तरफ से। तो आपको क्या लगता है कौन सा ड्राफ्ट आपके हिसाब से ज्यादा स्ट्रांग है इस मैच पे?
मेरे ख्याल से तो टीम गिग गिग जी की वो बोलने नहीं पा रहा उसका वो
आप बस
आइजन।
गीगा बोल दीजिए, बस
हाँ,
गीगा बोल
गीगा
दीजिए।
गीगा की अच्छी लग रही है।
अच्छा, तो बिनी अगर टीम गीगा की तरफ जाएँगे तो मैं टीम आईडब्ल्यूटी के पक्ष लूँगा। तो यहाँ पे अभी बहुत ही जल्दी हम लोग लैंड ऑफ डॉन पे जाएँगे ताकि हमें हमारा उत्तर मिल जाए कौन नेक्स्ट राउंड पे जाते हुए। और अगर किसी ने अभी-अभी स्ट्रीम जॉइन किया है तो ये है क्राउन चैंपियनशिप 2025 एंड आज रात का आखिरी मैच फॉर ऑल द टॉप 20 टीम्स। तो देखते हैं कि कौन सा टीम नेक्स्ट राउंड पे एडवांस करेंगे। यहाँ पे अभी देख सकते हैं दोनों ही टीम अलग-अलग बफ से स्टार्ट करते हुए टीम गीगारैश ब्लू बफ से स्टार्ट करेंगे और वहाँ पे हिल्डा का देखिए बहुत ही अग्रेसिव रोटेशन आते हुए बिनी। मुझे लगता है बिनी का थोड़ा सा माइक का प्रॉब्लम है पर कोई बात नहीं। यहाँ पे थोड़ा आगे ले जाते हुए हम लोग ये देख सकते हैं कि दोनों ही टीम थोड़ा स्लो खेल रहे हैं। अगर बिनी यहाँ पे है तो मुझे जवाब दीजिए, क्या लगता है कौन सा
ओ
टीम
ओ
फर्स्ट
ओ
ब्लड लेंगे?
मुझे लग रहा है कि गीगा टीम फर्स्ट ब्लड लेंगे क्योंकि मुझको पता नहीं लग ही रहा है कि वो लोग की टीम थोड़ा अच्छा पिक कर है। बट या आई कांट मतलब मैं पेपर नहीं दे सकता हूँ। बट या मेरे ख्याल से लग रहा है कि गीगा की टीम फर्स्ट ब्लड देंगे। और आई एम रियली सॉरी मेरा कॉल आ गया था।
कोई बात नहीं, कोई बात नहीं। और यहाँ पे देख सकते हैं दोनों ही टीम टॉप ना गोल लेन को थोड़ा सा ज्यादा प्रायोरिटाइज करते हुए टॉप लेन पे बहुत ज्यादा रोटेशन आ रहा है टॉप। और यहाँ पे ग्रैंजर ऑलरेडी लेवल 4 पहुंचते हुए देख सकते हैं बहुत सारा डैमेज दे रहे हैं बेन को। पर यहाँ पे वॉल के चलते हुए वो ब्लॉक हुआ था बट यहाँ पे डेडली कैच ऑलरेडी इस्तेमाल होते हुए पर ग्रैंजर ने यहाँ पे बहुत ही अच्छा स्नाइप करते हुए बेन को मारा पर वो भी पनिश हो गए। यहाँ पे एओजी मिस होते हुए पर फारसा अभी तक लेवल 4 पहुंचे नहीं है पर यहाँ पे बहुत ही ज्यादा अग्रेसिव मनूवर आ रहा है उनका। यहाँ पे देख सकते हैं हम लोग अभी तक फाइट रुका नहीं है और यहाँ पे लुई ना अपना एक खिल खोल लिया। यहाँ पे अभी भी फाइट बरकरार है बिकॉज टीम गीगाडैट्स रुकने वाले नहीं है। मैं कहने वाला था पर बोलते ही बोलते रुक चुके हैं बिकॉज टर्टल भी आ चुका है यहाँ पे बिनी। बहुत ही शानदार फाइट हुआ बट क्या हुआ उस फाइट में, कौन ज्यादा एडवांटेज मिला, किसको ज्यादा एडवांटेज मिला इस फाइट पे?
लुई
लुई बहुत ही आसान सा उत्तर बिनी की तरफ से। पर यहाँ पे देख सकते हैं फिर से ब्लू बफ के वहां पे ज्यादा अग्रेसिव मूवमेंट आ रहा है हिल्डा का और कितना ज्यादा डैमेज उनके ऊपर। पर यहाँ पे हिल्डा थोड़ा ज्यादा ही डीप चले गए और यहाँ पे गिरते होंगे। पर टर्टल अभी लग रहा है टीम आईडब्ल्यूटी के साइड जाएंगे बिकॉज वहां पे रेट्रीब्यूशन का अच्छा सा इस्तेमाल और यहाँ पे गडोट काचा एओजी इस्तेमाल करते हुए निकलते हुए। बट यहाँ पे फारसा का फेदर ऑफ स्ट्राइक्स लुई को मारते हुए बट थोड़ा सा स्लो रोटेशन रॉक की तरफ से बचा नहीं पाएंगे अपने मिड लेनर को। बट बहुत ही फास्ट गेम प्ले चल रहा है यहाँ पे दोनों ही टीम की तरफ से। लगता है बिनी को पता नहीं, बिनी भी शॉक थे दोनों ही टीम का फाइट देखते हुए। और यहाँ पे देखिए बिनी बेन फिर से गिरते हुए और यह ज्यादा अच्छा न्यूज नहीं है टीम गीगाडैट्स की तरफ से बिकॉज यहाँ पे देखिए फारसा को पनिश करते हुए बट अभी तक फाइट रुका नहीं है बिकॉज दोनों ही टीम अभी तक बरकरार करते हुए बहुत ही लो है। यहाँ पे क्लॉड शायद से बच जाएंगे बट बीएमआई का इस्तेमाल अच्छा बट वो दोनों ही मेंबर्स के अंदर है। बट यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हैं शायद यहाँ पे पनिश होंगे वो बट बहुत ही ज्यादा लूज नहीं हुआ है। अभी गोल लीड अगर देखेंगे तो ज्यादा नहीं है यहाँ पे बिनी। आपका क्या ख्याल है अभी तक जितने भी टीम फाइट्स हो चुके हैं उसके बारे में? बिनी क्या आप मुझे सुन सकते हैं?
मेरा यहाँ पे कॉल आ रहा है पूरा।
कोई नहीं, अगर आप तब तक कॉल रिसीव कर लीजिए मैं थोड़ा फाइट को आगे लेके जाता हूँ क्योंकि यहाँ पे मिड लेन पे देख सकते हैं फेदर ऑफ हेवन का कितना ज्यादा डैमेज। लुई ऑलमोस्ट गिरते हुए पर यहाँ पे यहाँ पे थोड़ा सा वाइल्ड चार्ज का इस्तेमाल बहुत ही बढ़िया, तो बचाने के लिए नहीं बच पाएंगे ग्रैंजर, वो किल ले जाते हुए। डेडली कैच का इस्तेमाल हुआ था बट ग्रॉक बहुत ही लो है। यहाँ पे देख सकते हैं हिल्डा थोड़ा सा ज्यादा अंदर है, वो निकलने का कोशिश करे पर डैमेज इतना ज्यादा आ रहा है लुई के पक्ष से, वो बच नहीं पाएंगे लग रहा था। पर यहाँ पे अच्छा पैसिव का इस्तेमाल हिल्डा के पक्ष से, तो वो बच ही जाएंगे। अभी हम लोग देख सकते हैं कि सेकंड टर्टल ऑफ द गेम स्पॉन हुआ है, पर टीम गीगा डैश ज्यादा एडवांटेज पे नहीं है इसको लेने के लिए। टीम IWT बहुत ही ज्यादा अग्रेसिव खेल रहे हैं, और यहाँ पे देखिए फिर से फेदर ऑफ स्ट्राइक इस्तेमाल हुआ, और यहाँ पे ग्रॉक गिरते हुए, उनके पास फ्लिकर नहीं था, और देखते ही देखते वहां पे हाइलोस ने अपना वो अल्टीमेट इस्तेमाल करते हुए जस्ट टू जोन द मेंबर्स आउट। पर यहाँ पे टर्टल जो है वो शायद से विदाउट एनी कंटेस्ट चला जाएगा टीम IWT की तरफ से। बिनी, क्या हम लोग क्या हम आपसे जान सकते हैं आपका क्या थॉट्स है इस गेम के बारे में अभी तक?
जैसे कि मैं देख रहा हूँ, आई थिंक बस वेट मुझे लग रहा है कि ओह पर्सन ने आगे मार दिया है।
जी
And
बिल्कुल, और यहाँ पे देख सकते ग्रॉक बचाने की कोशिश में थे पर थोड़ा सा लेट हुआ है यहाँ पे। पर यहाँ पे गटोट काचा थोड़ा सा उनको केयरफुल होना पड़ेगा, पर लगता है नहीं, बिकॉज बेन यहाँ पे पनिश होते हुए, और यहाँ पे बहुत ही शानदार रोटेशन टीम IWT की तरफ से। फाइट थोड़ा सा बदलने वाला था, पर दोनों ही टीम एक एक मेंबर को लूज करते हुए, और यहाँ पे देख सकते हैं लुई अपना अल्टीमेट यूज करते हुए वहां पे आने की कोशिश किए हैं। और पर टॉप लेन पे क्लॉड ने एक और किल अपने ही नाम पे कर लिया है, और ये फाइट देखते ही देखते टीम IWT के पक्ष में जाते ही। और पे देखिए हिल्डा का अकेला इतना डैमेज दे रहे हैं हाइलोस को, पर यहाँ पे शायद से पनिश होने वाले हैं, बट उनका हील बहुत ही ज्यादा है, एंड उनके पास टीम गीगाडेट्स के पास डैमेज नहीं उतना उनको मेल्ट करने के लिए। और देखते ही देखते 5000 का गोल लीड टीम IWT के पक्ष में। बिनी बहुत ही ज्यादा अभी हैरान पे है कि टीम फाइट्स पे क्या हो रहा है। देखते ही लग रहा है कि उनको पता नहीं कि उनको क्या बोलना है यहाँ पे, पर देखिए टीम फाइट्स रुक ही नहीं रही ताकि मैं बिनी को दे पाऊँ। पर बिनी, क्या आपका जो कॉल्स आ रहे थे वो रुके हैं कि नहीं? पर मुझे नहीं लगता है टीम IWT यहाँ पे रुकने वाले, क्योंकि वो लोग फाइट्स के ऊपर फाइट्स लेके जा रहे हैं। देखिए मेंबर्स इतने लो, यहाँ पे 2 मेंबर ऑलरेडी गिरते हुए, और मैं उसको 3 बना दीजिए, पर एक IWT के पक्ष में से गिरेंगे। एंड देखिए मिड लेन का सेकंड टियर टरेट भी गिरता हुआ, और टीम IWT इतना अग्रेसिव मैनूवर के साथ जो मैप पे खेल रहे हैं वो उनको बहुत ही ज्यादा बेनिफिट कर रहा है। तो बिनी, क्या
हेलो,
हाँ, तो आपको क्या लगता है मैच अभी क्या टीम गीगाडेट्स वापस आ सकते हैं इस गोल लीड के चलते हुए?
जैसे कि
और
मैं गेम प्ले देख रहा हूँ, मुझको लग तो रहा है कि दे कैन लाइक कम बैक।
मुझे भी आशा है कि टीम गीगाडेट्स वापस आ सकते हैं इस गेम पे, क्योंकि अभी टॉप लेन पे देखिए टीम IWT इनहिबिटर टरेट ऑलरेडी गिराते हुए, और मिड लेन पे भी उनका बहुत ही ज्यादा आक्रमण है, एंड मिनियंस बहुत ही जल्दी आने वाले। फारसा को देखिए इतना कॉन्फिडेंस के साथ वो उड़ रही है आसमान पे, और यहाँ पे एओची कनेक्ट होते हुए, और देखिए फारसा का डैमेज, बट पहले गिरते हुए गडोट काचा, और दूसरे होंगे हिल्डा जो डैमेज वो ले नहीं पाएंगे। बट यहाँ पे क्लॉड बाहर निकलते हुए, बट देखिए इतना ज्यादा डैमेज हाइलोस के ऊपर, बट वो बच जाएंगे। बट बहुत ही क्लोज कॉल था। बट यहाँ पे देखिए ब्लेजिंग डुएट का इस्तेमाल, एंड वहां पे लुई गिरते हुए, ग्रॉक भी शायद गिरेंगे। डबल किल, और यहाँ पे ट्रिपल किल ग्रैंजर के हाथ में। बहुत ही ज्यादा डैमेज आ रहा है, और यहाँ पे देखिए 2 मेंबर फिर भी भागने की कोशिश, बट फारसा नहीं होने देंगे वो, क्योंकि ग्रॉक नहीं है वो, बट वो भाईलो से जो आखिर में गिरेंगे। और एक वाइप आउट आता हुआ टीम IWT के तरफ से, एंड मिनियंस बेस की तरफ चलते हुए, और यहाँ पे देख सकते हैं बेस क्रिस्टल पे उनका आक्रमण चल रहा है। बहुत ही ज्यादा लो है टीम IWT के पास डैमेज काफी है इस गेम को अभी खत्म करने के लिए, बट वो लोग लौट को लेना चाहेंगे आई थिंक यहाँ पे, बिकॉज वो लोग बैक ऑफ कर रहे हैं। बिनी, मुझे आपका इनटेक चाहिए इस गेम पे, बताइए क्या लग रहा है आपको इस गेम पे थोड़ा इतना तक देखने के बाद? अभी मुझे लगता है बिनी थोड़ा गुस्सा होगी मेरे से, क्योंकि मैं उसको बोलने नहीं दे रहा हूँ यहाँ पे। बिनी, क्या हम आपको सुन सकते हैं? शायद से उनका कॉल आ गया गाइस, तो उनको थोड़ा सा एक्सक्यूज करना पड़ेगा। बट यहाँ पे देख सकते हैं टीम IWT अभी लॉर्ड के साथ मैप पे आते हुए हैं और शायद से गेम को यहाँ पे एंड करने की कोशिश करेंगे। अभी हम लोग बस 10 मिनट पे है, पर गोल लीड ऑलमोस्ट 12,000 का है। और यहाँ पे देखिए फारसा ऑलरेडी अल्टीमेट का इस्तेमाल करते हुए, बट डैमेज देखिए ग्रैंजर का ग्रॉक ऑलमोस्ट गिरते हुए। यहाँ पे देखिए एओजी का इस्तेमाल नहीं कर, आई मीन एओजी का इस्तेमाल हो चुका है, बट डबल किल ग्रैंजर के हाथ पे। बेस क्रिस्टल बहुत ही लो है, शायद से गेम खत्म हो जाएगा। यहाँ पे देख सकते हैं ट्रिपल किल ग्रैंजर मेनियक लेने की कोशिश, पर उससे ही पहले गेम खत्म हो जाएगा। और इसी के चलते गेम टीम IWT लेके जाएंगे, एलिमिनेट कर देंगे टीम गीगा रैट्स को। एंड इसी के साथ जो लास्ट गेम है रात का, वो खत्म होते हुए ग्रैंजर का शानदार प्रदर्शन। एंड इसी के चलते आई थिंक आज का जो मैच है वो सारे खत्म हो चुके हैं। मुझे बहुत बुरा लगा कि बिनी ज्यादा बोल नहीं पाई मेरे चलते हुए, पर अभी हमें यहाँ पे शायद से एंड करना पड़ेगा आज का स्ट्रीम। So I'll just switch back to English, guys, because it's really difficult for me to speak in Hindi for so long. I've been trying my best. So with that, I believe all the matches for tonight have come to an end, and with that, we might be ending our stream. So thank you for joining, guys, and if you haven't subscribed yet, you should do that, and don't forget to like the stream, because that gives us more motivation to bring you guys these tournaments a lot more. So it was really great to have you guys joining for the stream, and as well as congratulations to all the winner. It was really amazing to watch them play tonight, and we hope that you guys will join us tomorrow as well for more action-packed game, because we are down to the top 20 of our tournament. And like I mentioned, this is Crown Championship 2025, so it'll be a bit fired up because we are just starting the year with a banger. So don't miss out on the action. And with that, I believe me and Binny, who is not here yet, will be signing off for the night. And thank you for joining, guys. So good night and kudos to everyone.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away, as you fade away.
Yeah, I'm about to fade away, cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain. All of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Gotta build up of my thoughts sitting in an ashtray. I'm sorry that I'm so inconvenient, okay. Just let me be me and I'll stay out of your way. I can see the way you look at me, I'm such a disgrace. I never really asked to be brought into this place. You wanna love me? Well then baby I have a taste. All the highs and the lows, no you'll never be the same. I don't really wanna hurt you, but I can't control the pain. If you're sticking by my side, maybe we could be okay. Okay, maybe you could be the change I need today. I promise that I've never felt this way. I really hope that you will choose to stay through all the pain.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away, as you fade away, as you fade away, as you fade away. You try to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away, but I've known you too long.